Well, a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Deck to Sim live stream. Today it's the 15th of March 2022, 4 minutes past 4 in the afternoon here in the UK, back at Expo 11 in the excellent iniBuilds Airbus A310. I think this is only the third time we've taken this aircraft out. Firstly, I'd like to apologise because we were planning to stream this very sector on Sunday at the same time. I think it was about 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I got a phone call from crewing saying, sorry, Flight Deck to Sim, you need to go fly our airplane today. So I did a 4-sector day on Sunday, and then I was flying yesterday, so I had no chance. This was the earliest opportunity I had to stream again. So sorry for those that missed it or missed what we were doing today. I can't miss it. We're going to miss it today. Unfortunately, I couldn't do anything on Sunday. These things do happen. But then again, it's best to leave it until later. I'm all over the place now. I had a really busy day today. I went to go see my mum, had lunch. I'm getting into shooting, so I bought myself a shotgun today and all the accessories. Yeah, it's been a mad rush. I only walked in through the front door 20 minutes ago, so I'll try and get myself up to speed as soon as possible. Anyway, we'll zoom on in towards the aircraft. I'm also doing that. We'll see who we have in chat today. Hello, Greg Scott. They call you Flight Deck to Sim as well. They do. Greg, you couldn't stream as Flight Deck to Flight Deck. I wish I could, but no recording, camera equipment in the Flight Deck allowed without permission. So I wish to remain anonymous, as you well know. So unfortunately, nothing today. Ben Matthews, hope you're doing well. RM says hello. Josias, Paul Shuey, hope you're doing well, buddy. Yaroslav, Diego Frey says good evening, everyone. I hope you had some good flights yesterday, Captain. I did indeed. Actually, if you look at my Instagram, you'll see. Hold on, where am I parked? I think I was over here. If you look at my Instagram, we're flying back to my home base, and we just approached the UK airspace, and I saw a town that looked like the Millennium Falcon. And I remember a captain pointing out to me years ago, and I shared it on Twitter, which I thought was quite cool. But yeah, it was really, really cool. Getting really busy working now, especially with the summer schedule just around the corner as well. Is this my aeroplane? Yes, it is. I found it. Excellent. There we are. Completely cold and dark, and the aircraft is the latest version of the iniBuilds Airbus A310. I think it's 1.04, maybe 1.14. It's the latest public version anyway. Hello, Frezzy, 16 volts. I hope you're doing well. Hello, Skips. I hope all is well. First stream for me in quite a while. Thank you very much for popping in. Appreciate it, buddy. Liam Barwick, nothing better than a Flight Deck to Sim stream. Also, I'd love to hear. Thank you very much for popping in, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Edo, Pilot Gaz, good morning, everyone. Stayed up at midnight to watch live from Hong Kong. Well, appreciate that, buddy. Yes, it must be getting close to midnight there. Well, that's awesome. I hope you have a lovely evening as well. I hope you're doing well. Lee Russell, evening CFP says, hope you're all fine. And Orion, first time watching the stream live, a good way to spend time recovering from wisdom tooth surgery. Oh my goodness, I imagine that's really painful, Orion. I'm actually having a bit of jip with a wisdom tooth at the moment. It's going to have to get pulled out at some point, but as I get a little bit older, it gets certain days a bit sore on the gum, and other days it's fine. At the moment it's fine, which is good news, so I do pity you. Anyway, let's get ourselves positioned onto the aircraft. This is the Aerosoft scenery for Manchester. I think most of you should have this because when the COVID pandemic started, I think Aerosoft offered this scenery for free, and it's quite a nice detailed one, maybe a little bit dated, but I think it's the best one you get on Explain 11. Anyway, let's get on into the air bridge. Got to turn my sounds down a little bit. A bit of a jump. Oof, there we are, into the flight deck. Cool. This livery is one of Moen's livery, one of my moderators. Really high quality. We'll do a cabin tour. Flight time to Keflavik today will be 2 hours, 10 minutes. Whole idea behind this stream as well that Xometry Scenery, who work with iniBuilds, got in contact, said, Flight Deck to Sim, we would love to give you a copy of the Xometry scenery. We'd also like to give a copy away to one of your viewers, and would you like to stream into it? Well, yeah, let's go there from Manchester. We're pretty cool. So we'll have a look at the scenery when we land. It is now available to purchase, I think, for £17.99, excluding VAT, so I think with VAT it's probably about 20 quid or so. But yeah, it's a really nice detailed scenery. We'll have a good look at it later. Right, so it has been a while since I've flown this aircraft. I did manage a third of a test sector before work yesterday. I got at least to the cruise altitude, just so I could get familiar with the setup. I haven't done a test approach yet, so anything could happen. Fingers crossed, I'll need all the help here. The good job is, or the good news is the fact that this Airbus is very much like a Boeing, so I don't have too many issues in remembering what I need to do. Right, let's get the show on the road. So I've not done anything. Let's go to ground ops. We'll go to exits. We need to get the passengers on, really. So let's open the L1 door now. If I do that, does that actually... Yeah, not a good start. I've already deployed the emergency slide. You don't want to be doing that. How do I do that without opening the slide? Oh, hold on. Let me close all. Not the best start here at Alpaca Airways. on this flight today. Just already blown the slides. Let's close that. Disarm all. There we go. Now let's open it. That might help. Don't forget to disarm slides before you open the door. Open the cargo door too. That's better. Now we can board the aircraft, although it's a bit of a leap of faith into the cabin today. So the doors are sorted. Ground services. We're going to need the chocks in. External power. No air stairs today. Let's get the loaders on, because we want to start loading whatever Manchester ships to Keflavik. Mostly passengers on holiday, I should think. Won't need the bus because we've got the bridge. Let's get the catering and the fuel truck attached, so it looks a little bit more lively out there. There's a bit of activity. Yeah, there's the alpaca feed, and there's the cargo being loaded as well. The door is now open without the slide deployed. Liam Barwick, report to Chief Pilot. You definitely would need to if you blew the slides, that's for sure. Galami, how's everyone doing today? Thank you very much. We're all good here. Jonathan Wiltshire, evening feels like ages since I caught a live stream. Too much daddy duty. Oh, I can imagine that's keeping you fully occupied, Jonathan. Thank you very much for popping in. Nonetheless, Simple Takeoff says, hi, Captain in chat. Hello to you as well. Right, now we've got some power. Let's get the batteries on. It's alive. External power's connected. I need to sort the volume out because I've only just installed the aircraft again. I think I need to fiddle a lot with the sounds and the custom sounds for the iniBuilds as well. But sounds alive, and sounds like the air conditioner's coming in as well. Where is that bungee cord to get into the aircraft? Unbelievable. You delivering some Boddingtons? Is that brewed in Manchester, Paul? I didn't know that. We'll go along with that anyway. We've got 230 simulated passengers for this sector today, and a full load of cargo. Now, the weather in Keflavik today isn't that great either, so we're going to talk about off-island diversions, because our alternate, believe it or not, is actually back in the UK. It's Aberdeen, but it is very windy in Iceland today. Should be quite exciting later on. Anyway, let's look at the overhead panel. So I do have this sort of tutorial which I usually follow when flying the aircraft, but I'm sort of a little bit more familiar with it now, so I'm sort of going to do a panel scan top left down all the way to the bottom right to get it configured. It might not be in the correct sequence of things, but get it configured correctly, ready for pushback. So first things I'm going to do is put the IRS to nav, and working our way down here, all the fault lines are illuminated because there's no hydraulic power to the aircraft here. That should be on ground control. We don't use the electric hydraulic pumps. We don't need any lighting. We are live weather. It'll probably be a night landing by the time we go to Iceland. But when we do the scenery tour, I'll make it daylight so you can see what's going on. Seatbelt sign on. And no smoking sign on. Let's actually get the aircraft fueled up and loaded now. So here's the operational flight plan. Zero fuel weight is quite heavy, 103.9. I think this configuration of the A310, it has 238 seats. I'm simulating 230 passengers, so pretty much a full aircraft. But if you have a look at this, have a look at my alternate. It is Aberdeen. Look at that. To get to Aberdeen, it's 766 miles away, and 1 hour 56 minutes to the alternate. So this, the reason I've gone for this alternate is, if you have a look here geographically of where we're going, there's our routing all the way here to Iceland. Now the weather in Iceland, it's not great in Keflavik. Well, actually it's a lot better than it was when I was planning to stream on Sunday, but right now the wind's 220 30 knots, but they've got forecast winds of 50 knots on a tempo, gusting with snow showers and CBs and thunderstorms and snow. I've never seen a thunderstorm snow on a TAF before. So we'll grab the weather using CPDLC later. And there's nowhere in Iceland you could safely divert to, so we need to have a suitable alternate where we know we need to, where we can divert. And that's our alternate. Look, it's all the way over here in Aberdeen. So if we can't get in, we have to divert to Aberdeen. Now if you select that as your alternate, you can select whatever alternate you like. It is included in the block fuel figure. This figure here, how much fuel is that? 19.4 tonnes. That includes the alternate fuel, your reserves. There it is, 9 tonnes to divert to Aberdeen after flying the approach in Keflavik, and then diverting and arriving in Aberdeen with 30 minutes of fuel remaining. So we don't want to just take this, we need to take even more, let's say 30 minutes extra, to allow us to fly a couple of approaches into Keflavik. If we have to go around after 2, we won't shoot a third approach, we divert to Aberdeen, and we ensure that after we've burnt the reserves here, we still arrive with the fin res intact, which is not much. That's 30 minutes remaining. You have to call a mayday if you're going to land with less than this figure here. So, having a look at this, it's 19.4 tonnes is the minimum fuel. This aircraft's burning 4.4 tonnes an hour, let's call it, rounded up. So 2.2 tonnes on top of this, that's going to be 19 for 24, 21 for 21, 6 really. Let's just call it 22 tonnes, and that's a nice amount of fuel to take. Bear in mind, if you're taking a lot of extra fuel, because we already have an alternative that's far away, be wary of your landing weight. The 737, if you're full, and you're on a full cargo hold with all the checked-in bags, it doesn't leave a huge amount of room for extra fuel. You can put in probably an extra 30-45 minutes before you're at your max landing weight. You've got to be a bit wary here. There's enough here. Look, our estimated landing weight is already 113 tonnes, so if we just take that a little bit extra, 2.5 tonnes or what it is, we're still way below the max landing weight. So that's okay. So we're going to order 22 tonnes. Let's have a look here. So we're going to go to ground services. No, it's not load sheet. There we are. So 0 fuel weight. You'll work a bit backwards in the iniBuilds, but it is 103.9. That is simulating a traffic load. If I push enter here, it does come up there later. It's equivalent of 230 passengers and their checked-in bags. And fuel on board, we said 22 tonnes. And if we now press load, that'll put the fuel and passengers on. So there's the traffic load, that's the weight of all the passengers checked in bag, 23.9 tonnes of people and bags there. So yeah, that's the fueling done, and the cargo too. Matt, binge watching these all day. Cough, I mean working from home, of course, so happy to see you live. Thanks for all your efforts. You're most welcome, Matt. Thank you very much for popping into the stream. Hilmar, you could divert to Bravo India Alpha Romeo. A321 flies there. It is a divert airport. Very interesting. Now, which airport is that in Iceland? I'm unfamiliar with Iceland. I've never flown into it, but Bravo India Alpha Romeo, it is called Akureyri. It's actually probably not a bad shout. The wind's actually really quite good there. 2,400 metres. 2,400 metre runway, and the wind's 180 at 20 knots. That's actually a good shout there, Helmar. So we could consider that if we can't get into Keflavik, but at the moment it's okay. It's the forecast that could cause problems. Astrid, can it be a problem in terms of max landing weight if your alternate is far away? Yes, it's very unlikely that's the case. So you can have problems with even landing at your destination, Astrid. So let's imagine you have a runway which is less than 1,800 metres long. You want to take additional fuel for weather. It might be at a point where you can't actually, you're limited by your weight, because the runway, if it's wet especially or contaminated, the performance is pretty poor. So you've got to be a bit careful with that fuel extra, especially if you've got your alternatives quite far away. That could have issues potentially with your landing weight. So you could, if that is a problem and you need the fuel, you might have to look at options such as offloading passengers, but that's very rarely an issue. I'm talking if you're landing at an airport which is a very short runway, it's wet, the aircraft's fully loaded. I've never had to or found myself in that situation in 10 years or so. Cool, anyway, let's start up here. So we've done the fuels, seatbelt signs are on, working our way up here. The AC DC metering panel, we won't fiddle with that. Let's do the fault and fire test. So let's do engine number 1, loop A, I am holding it down, loop B, there's the light, and there's the ECAM message for the engine fire. Let's do the APU, that's this one, holding it down still. There's the AP fire drill, and engine number 2, which is here. Still doing the test of the APU there. There's engine number 2. Perfect. Fault and fire tests are done. I do have X-plane random failures on. It is set to happen every 5 hours. Goodness knows what will happen today. Our due one. So there's the fire test done. Electrical panel is all set. We're on external power. These switches then. So if I remember rightly, we cannot do anything until the IRS is aligned, and that's going to take another 0 minutes. Nearly there. I think I'm on a 6-minute alignment, so we'll put those switches up shortly. Back up here, gear showing 3 greens, which is good. All fuel tanks on. There we are. Put the galley light on so we can pop the kettle on. There's all the fuel distributed. It should be 22 tonnes, which I believe if I clear this down there, maybe have to press clear again. How do I get the fuel? Oh, there it is, 22 tonnes, perfect. Engine ignition system, we don't need the APU just yet, and cockpit, we'll leave it unlocked. Put the oxygen low pressure supply switch on. The propane window heat goes on at this stage in the A310 using system 1 for pressurization. That's all looking sensible. Cabin diff pressure 0, 0, and cabin altitude is 0 as well. And working our way up here, temperatures will leave them all in the auto position, and the air conditioning pressurization panel is all set. We'll arm the. Let's do a light test. There we go. How exciting! Well, imagine we'll check that. Emergency exit lights are armed. We can't set up the MCP just yet, so we need to wait until the IRS is aligned. But I can fetch my flight plan using SimBrief. Black Cobra, did you try out the virtual performance tool already, and could you explain the different runway conditions with the corresponding METAR conditions? I haven't tried out the virtual performance tool, but METAR conditions, so METAR is just the weather, and the runway condition isn't usually shown on a METAR. Sometimes it might be. You can get something called like a Montney or a Monty, and it will have the different numbers, but we used to use something called the TALPA matrix, which stood for Takeoff and Landing Performance Assessment. It all changed a few months ago to something called GRF, the Global Reporting Format. So they now just simply use a number for the braking action, 0 being very poor, so it's prohibited for my operator to land on a braking action, put it at 0 or 1. 2 would be pretty slippy, 3... Basically 2, 3 and 4 is a contaminated runway, 5 is wet, 6 is dry. But you usually get that from the ATIS there. Shui, using the yoke today? No, I'm not, I'm afraid. No yoke cam, using the Airbus side stick, which I know this aircraft has a yoke, and I always said I'd use a yoke with the yoke cam, but I literally only walked through the door 20 minutes before the stream. I just didn't have time to get it all set up for the camera and everything, which is away. But next time we're in a yoke aircraft, I promise we'll do that there. Hope you're doing well, Mark King. Good to see you here as well. Right, we're still loading, so all up here is fine. MCP, let's load up the flight management computer. So if I go to FMS, you can see we've got the latest AirRack installed, and then go to flight plan. Now, if I go down here to my fancy computer, let's go here to ACARS. I can request company route, and this will pull my SimBrief flight plan. There it all is. I'll need to align the IRS as well, so that's looking fantastic. Go to init. Flight level 360, I think it just generates a cost index of 22. It matches the SimBrief flight plan I have. We'll go to Align IRS. We'll just type in our alternate airport. I'm not going to put the alternate routing in, but that is Echo Golf Papa Delta for Aberdeen. Oops. Return. It's clear for the Align IRS. Company route uplink done. So there we are. Put the alternate in. The rest is all done here, and I just want to go to init page B. There we are. So block fuel is 22 tons. 0 fuel weight is the same as we've got in the operational flight plan. Just double check it here. It is 103.9. 103.9 and CG 25%. So 25 on the back is in. So I can use all that information. It reckons should come up here with the extra time, but maybe I need to finish putting the SID and arrival in and everything there. Perfect. So go now to flight plan. Manchester. Do we have any ATC here? We do. We've got ground and delivery online. So we'll grab a clearance, see what runway they're using first. We'll grab the ATIS first, then the clearance, and then we can put the runway information and the SID in the FMC. Let's grab the weather here. Just open my volume mixer. Being the pro streamer I am. Excellent. This should be the ATIS. Looks like it's not on voice. Oh no, I know why it's not on voice. You've got to push this down and then pull this up. Any voice there? Yeah, it's definitely on receive, but sounds like the ATIS. Have I got the right frequency? No, I've got the wrong frequency, that's why. Pro streamer. 21975. Let's have a listen to this.
50 Zulu. Automatic. Runway in use 23 right. Transition level flight level 60. Surface wind 190 degrees 7 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers or more. No cloud detected. Temperature +13. Dew point +4. QNH 1017.
Summer's on the way.
QFE 100.
13 degrees. Nice.
Acknowledge receipt of information, Papa. And advise aircraft type on first contact.
Brilliant. So we've got Papa, or some of it.
Manchester information, Papa. Time 1550 Zulu. Automatic. Runway in use 23 right. Transition level, flight level 60. Surface wind 190 degrees 7 knots.
Perfect. So we copied the information. It was information Papa. 1907, 10k, no clouds, 13 degrees. QNH is 1017. Runway 23 right in use. Transition level 60. So let's set the QNH first. Where is the... I don't know, it is. I was working out how to set it. So 1017. I got it to sync to all of the altimeters, which is great. That should be showing the elevation of Manchester, which is... Let me just find... That's 257 feet. That's close enough. Looking good here. And... now we've got the 80, so we can grab the clearance as well. Love it. Poor, I said simple takeoffs, exactly. And Brute LADR's got it perfectly as well. Flying Henry, hello mate, hope you're all good. Like this route, looking forward to it. Did I just say that? I can't remember, I've read it twice, but thank you very much, Henry. Hope you're doing well. Mason Island, sure if it's been asked before, but are you allowed... Stand by. Are you allowed to fly with an out-of-date database? If so, are there any additional procedures that have to be completed? Yes, you can, Mason Island. I have had it once before where the nav database had expired, and it was on the day the new Eric was installed. I can't remember off the top of my head how long you have to wait until it has to be updated. I think it's a
30,
day.
20.
But there are some procedures, basically just check the chart very carefully. Thank you, Sheriff Bob Fletcher, for the £5. What?
As Ramsey County Sheriff, I'm here to serve a warrant in Anthony Teal for the crime of inappropriately hunting birds.
Who the hell's this? Sheriff Bob Fletcher, thanks for the £5. As Ramsey County Sheriff, I'm here to serve a warrant in Anthony Teal for the crime of inappropriate hunting birds. Is that for me? I don't shoot birds, I shoot the clay pigeons, not real ones. I don't know if that's referring to that, but thank you very much, Sheriff Bob Fletcher, for your donation. If you're here on behalf of Anthony to arrest me, I'm not sure what's going on there, but thank you very much for your generosity. My goodness. Cheers. Liam, does an ATIS sound like that in real life? Yes, funny enough, it does actually sound just like this voice here. It's not like the ones in the UK though. That's the Spanish ATC man. That's what it sounds like in Spain, in places like Barcelona and Malaga, places like that. Superb. Cool. Great question about the... I'll remind me later. I'll have a look at the MEL. It didn't happen to me that long ago, and you can dispatch with regards to the database being expired. You just have to carefully check the routing, and if there's any discrepancies, you have to advise ATC and fly one of the coded approaches or something. But yeah, it isn't really a huge impact to the operation. Certainly, you can hill it and go. Awesome. So let's grab the clearance now. 1217.
50, 40,
Thank you, Robert S.
30, 20, 10.
Long time no see. Get you a coffee, mate.
Thank you very much, Robert, for the 2 years. Really appreciate it, buddy. I'll definitely get myself a coffee on my way to work next time with that. Well, a decaf tea. Don't drink coffee anymore, but appreciate it, Robert. That's very kind of you, and thanks for popping in. Take care, buddy. Excellent. Anthony Teal, wow, he says. And then Flying Henry says, I think he's coming for the landing you did in Minneapolis. My landing wasn't that bad in Minneapolis, was it? It was pretty good. Amazing. Right, let's grab the...
Manchester delivery, very good afternoon. Bird 67 at stand 26, type Boeing 747-400 with ATIS information. Papa request Alpha clearance to Keflavik, please.
He's taking his jumbo to Keflavik.
765, no flight plan from you.
Many alpacas. Oh wow, look at this. There is the 7.4 there. Look how wide this fat, look how fat my plane is. Spell it with a P as well. Amazing. Clearance, very good afternoon, Alpaca. 31 Kilo Foxtrot to an A310 on stand 32. Information, Papa. QNH 1017, departure clearance to Keflavik, please.
Alpaca 31 Kilo Fox. Were you already cleared by any chance?
Negative.
Roger, start going to put you in the start box, but you are cleared to Keflavik via Pole Hill 5 Romeo departure, score 6212.
cleared to Keflavik on the Pole Hill 5 Romeo departure squawk 6212 Alpaca 31 Kilo Foxtrot.
1 Kilo Fox, correct.
Excellent. Thanks, Anthony.
40,
I did just temporarily.
30,
4 speed
20,
7, do you have our
10.
flight plan now?
Whilst that was coming in there, thanks, man. You didn't have to.
I don't hunt birds, they come to me.
Thank you very much for $10, Anthony. Love it. Unbelievable. What a comment. Oh dear, I have to hunt. Thanks, buddy. I hope you're doing well. And it was good fun streaming into Minneapolis the other day. Take care, man. Excellent. Right, so we've got our clearance. It is a Pole Hill 5 Romeo, squawk 6212. So let's get the squawk set first. So I've got to go here, tune 6212. There we are. And we can now put all these switches up because the IRS alignment is complete. And we can now set up the MCP and select the SID. So let me firstly get the SID selected. So there is the Pole 5 Romeo. Excellent. Let's get the FMS loaded, then the MCP. So nav accuracy is upgraded, GPS primary. So let's go to flight plan, Manchester, SID, runway 23 right. I think it's the Pole 5 Romeo, isn't it? Yeah, 23 right, Pole 5 Romeo. And we'll select insert. Let's go flight plan to plan. Pop out the ND. Just make sure there's no discontinuities. Looks like everything's joined up. So this routing is similar to the routing that Jet2 and EasyJet take to Keflavik. It avoids, I believe, Shanwick Oceanic. I think Iceland's in some sort of strange domestic / oceanic airspace. I've never flown there, but we're staying clear of oceanic airspace for this routing. I had a little look on Flight Radar, and this is the exact track they take. Once we get towards Keflavik, very likely to be runway 19 later, and we're expecting the Arson 2 Kilo. Arson 2 Kilo for ILS Zulu 19, and it'll be an Elvam transition for us. That is inserted. Again, just checking to make sure we have no discontinuities. Looks like all the dots are joined, that's taking us onto the ILS, and the only discontinuity is then onwards to our alternate. We'd have to put the alternate routing in there. Superb, that is all set for the routing. We've done the performance, need to do a takeoff performance. Fuel I need to fiddle with here a little bit, I think. So taxi is a little bit longer, allowed for 30 minutes of taxi here. So where are you, taxi fuel? There we are, 30 minutes, 599, so we'll change that to 0.6. Our alternate is 9.0. I think it reckons we're using 12.9 tons. Can I change that manually? 9.0. Extra time. This is where I have differences because I don't fly this aircraft, but there's something in the FMC. I know I've got sufficient fuel based on the flight plan. 22 tons, the weights are there, and the optimum cruise level is 359. We're cruising at 36. By the time we're up there, that will be above 360. So that's it. We just now have to set up the MCP. So firstly, let's have a look at our taxi and departure. So we're on stand 32. We'll be pushing to face southwest on November Charlie, and then we'll be routing via Lima or Echo. We'll eventually go over, might be Delta Papa. It's a bit confusing here at Manchester, can't get easily lost. You've got Bravo and Kilo, but then we'll be eventually going left onto Juliet, and then figures from Mike. We'll be able to depart from Mike fine as well. And the SID of 23 right for the Pole 5 Romeo is climbing straight ahead 3 miles from Manchester, so 1355. It's an Airbus, so I won't tune in any VOR frequencies, but I will just set the runway QDM first. That is 232. 232 on the MCP, and we'll be climbing straight ahead at 3 miles. We'll be making a right turn, track 344 towards Xumat. Before that, we need to be not higher than 5,000 feet, max 5,000 feet at 7 miles from Manchester. So we've got our clearance, we'll set this to 5,000 feet. Don't want to go above that, otherwise that is an altitude bust. 5,000 feet set, and have to zoom at. We have to maintain 5,000 feet all the way to Pole Hill, and that's ATC clearance further. So that's it. Don't climb above 5,000 feet. It's a warning. 23 left. In the event of a missed approach on 23 right, ATC may instruct a departure from 23 left to make a left turn for separation. Alright. There we are. So taxi and SID's briefed. Let's have a little look at the performance. We do have to select this decision height -5. We'll do that on Jim's side as well. And let's go here. So send takeoff performance. We that, and that will send the data to the FMS. And we're in Manchester, and it'll be runway 23 right for departure, and we'll request this. It'll fetch the ATIS off Active Sky for us to load up the OPT. Thanks for subscribing there, Shine 2D, hope you're doing well. Learn iCode skills with Rish. Hi mate, from Manchester Livery. Excellent, did I clear you? You hadn't, but I got the second clearance. Thank you very much for the ATC, sir. Optimus Subprime, can you program intersection departure in the FMS, or is that only done in the OPT? I don't think we could do intersection departures yet, so technically I should go full length here because it's only using data for the full length of the runway. Many membership renewals coming in. 2 years, Domino Mosina. I'm sure when you next do that, you'll have the alpaca badge. Thank you very much for the 2 years membership. Preview of this message shows that I'm a member for 13 months. Meanwhile, I'm approaching 24 months. Alpaca badge soon. Well, I can see you here for 24 months on the attachment. Thank you very much to Domino Mosina, one of my moderators as well. Thank you for your continued support too. Pilot Gans, just looked at the MEL on the 330 nav. Database can be out of date for 3 consecutive days. Captain has highlighted the charts it's used to check the database nav fixes exactly. I think it's pretty much Verbero's in the 737 MEL. It wasn't that long ago we had it, and it said, yeah, as long as you check the charts and it matches what the FMS says, it's fine. And if it didn't, you'd advise ATC. We'll double check that later. Pangolin, 13 months as a member, 4th stripe, welcome aboard, Captain. Now I'm qualified to sit on the left and to crash into things during taxi as well in the air. Amazing, Pangolin. Thank you very much for your continued support and your membership. Really appreciate it. Superb. Right, there's all the weather fetched in from the ATIS. It is dry, won't need anti-ice. Takeoff weights in. We're going to use the 15 flap setting. I find with the 0-15, we have very high V speeds, approaching 170 knots, especially at this gross weight. Drive air conditioning on and flex thrust. Let's compute that. Here all the cogs spinning. There we are. V speeds are set. 59 degrees is pretty much the maximum thrust reduction you can have. Now I don't know about the Airbus. Does anyone know? Mini quiz. What's the maximum thrust reduction you can have for departure as a percentage? So you imagine full 26k in the 737 is full thrust. With a combination of D rates and assumed temperature, what is the maximum you can reduce the thrust by as a percentage from full takeoff thrust? I know, because I had it on my recent sim. I have to do an exam every 6 months prior to my sim, and it came up there. And I remember thinking, oh, I wasn't too sure. I did get it right. Right, that's all set. Whilst you think about that, I'll get the V speed set. We'll send the data to the FMS. So 155. Let's go here to performance. So what is it? Takeoff approach. There we are. 155, 157. V2 is 161, so MCP. 1 is up to 161. Astrodew, straight in there, 25%. That is correct. I don't know if it's the same in the Airbus, probably, but it is the same. That is the figure in 737, 25%. So we've set V2 preset, and we'll just set 230 knots as our initial climb clean speed, unless there's any. Is there any restrictions on that SID for the first turn? No. You don't want to be doing 250 though, you might overshoot. Right, that's set. Set 1.6 units down on the trim. Do I have to wait until after engine start? No. There we are, 1.6 units down. And the 59 degrees flex temperature. So flex 59 degrees is set. We're getting there, guys. We'll select constraints. Land altitude, what is that in Keflavik? CB's there now. Station elevation, where are you? It is 171 feet. So let's set to 200, that's fine. Landing gear warning test. Do that. Probably several tests I've missed.
Minimums.
We'll get the doors closed shortly. We'll select FMS there. We don't need to set any frequencies there for now. We'll leave takeoff page there too. There's the flying plan information. That's all set. Oh yes, I can use this to grab the weather to remind us. So let me just grab that. Let me use that here. Weather request. Might as well use METARP because it's the same as the ATIS in VATSIM. And we are Echo Golf, Charlie Charlie. Send. And print. Love this. Such a cool feature. Perfect. Hopefully someone will be using CPDLC later. I did see they're not using it at Manchester at the moment. Going to use it there. Neek, 23 months as a member. Thank you very much, buddy. Can you put down Garrison spawn when you reach Keflavik? Would be great as I can spawn there then. Amazing. Thank you very much, Neek05. So myself and some of the other members played our first game of Hell Let Loose the other day, and we were all pretty rubbish. It was great fun though, really enjoyed it. We should do that in the next few days as well. I'm quite busy, but I'm free in the evening, so yeah, if you want to hook me up, Nick, we'll play and do it again. That was amazing fun. And it was Lucasade, one of the members. He was A+ medic. He was respawning all of us. It was wicked. Super. Right, let's get the show on the road here. So we're going to go back here to map. I think I've done everything. Scream at chat if you realise I've missed something important. I will be using the checklist after engine start. Tuning panel, we've got the squawk in. We'll put that to out on. I think they want, yeah, I don't have out off. Let's go out on. So we'll pop up there as on the transponder. And I'm happy with the volumes. Let's get the APU started. And then all doors closed. So master switch on and APU to start. There's all the APU information. It's a really neat add on this one. You know, the iniBuilds, I'd like to fly at least, not leave it too long between flying each time, because it's just a great add-on. It just works so nice. It's got so many additional features. Right, so ground services. No, let's not do that just yet. So exits, close all. Ground services, page 2. Get rid of the loader. To the second page, there it is. Fuel truck we don't need, catering truck we don't need. APU's there, providing power. It's available, so I can go up here, disconnect the external power. There you go, and remove the external power and the chocks. There we are. We're all good. We'll get the better pushback organised, and we'll get on our way. So better pushback, pre-plan. There's one I made earlier. Let's just do it. I always like to restart it because I had it once. It didn't work properly. We've got a BA310-300 and another Airbus A310 to get on its way first. Get on the way first, so we should be good after that.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you're ready.
It's the Moody Man!
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
It's the one that's always a bit stroppy. There we are. So we've got A310 over here in the alternate livery by Bounce, one of the members. The Alpaca Airways Classic. We've got an Alpaca Airways 737 there. That's a really cool BA World Cargo. Very smart. Right, let's turn up the volume here slightly, and we'll get in the queue. Let's push a start. That is loud. Better pushback, unbelievable. Hello, Mad Matt UK 123. I had a flight simulator experience a few weeks back. I flew from Newcastle to Manchester via Pole Hill. I found the 737 to be heavy in pitch and a nightmare to slow down. Great fun though, very good. Yeah, I mean, if you went to a proper simulator and they're simulating the flight controls realistically.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Something's crashed. Yeah, the real aircraft is a heavy aircraft. If you look at videos of guys landing the 737 in real life, you can see that the inputs are made to make it. It's after a while it can get a bit tiring on the arms, especially if you're doing in the sim steep turns all the time. They're having a lot of back pressure. It's a bit of a beast, but it's nightmare to slow down as well. Yeah, very slippy. Albeit the NG is now a 25-year-old design. It's been flying for 25 years. It's still a very clean wing.
Because my units get crashed, just give me in 2 minutes to set back up again.
Oh dear, that's had a problem. It's a very clean aircraft, but it is a tricky aircraft to slow down, especially if you're new onto it.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Stand by. Clearance is having a few issues. The VA World Cargo is on its way. We've got a little Wizz Air over there. Just the basic CSLs I've got, they look very good. Oh, that's a bit tight. That's a bit tight. That was like about 20 inches. Matt, what usually determines your flex temperature? Basically, you're reducing the takeoff thrusters to as much as possible, but to ensure that you can take off safely with the sufficient runway length and also clear all obstacles in the event of an engine failure. So what it is like an assumed temperature, you're essentially telling the engine, look, this is the temperature and I want you to produce the amount of thrust as if this was the temperature. That's an approved way of reducing takeoff thrust.
But the problem is that there's too much traffic at the moment. I'll quickly go and check for you.
Too much traffic. When I logged on, there was no one here. There's quite a few of us, to be fair. BA, we've got a Ryanair, we've got a shuttle, Alpaca. BA, there's the Wizz Air, Alpaca, and Ice. Who's Ice? I'll tell them we're ready anyway. And clearance, Alpaca 31 Kilo Foxtrot, stand 32, request push and start. Thran stand all over. There we are. Hey, look at these grounds online, so we can probably transfer over to ground when you can. FMA does the 7.3 have brake fans? It doesn't. Sam, Manchester's a horrible place when it's busy. Yeah, I have operated out of this airport. You're right, it is a little bit of a cul-de-sac here. It's not...
I'd 21 Kilo Fox, contact the ground 121, that's 5093 and bye-bye.
121-850, thank you for the ATC South, back at 31 Kilo Foxtrot, bye. Yeah, it's a bit of a cul-de-sac here. You see there's a few hot spots around, but it can be confusing if you're unfamiliar. Right, let's request push and start. Manchester ground, good evening, Alpaca 31 Kilo Foxtrot, stand 32, request push and start.
Alpaca 31 Kilo Fox, ground hello, start approved, hold position, just company traffic to clear for behind.
Started to pre holding position, Alpaca 31 Kilo Foxtrot.
67, continue taxi, holding point Juliet 1 for 23 right, 5 Papa, Kilo and Juliet.
It will be night by the time we get into Keflavik, guys, but it'd be quite cool to see the lighting at night.
Continue to holding point Juliet 1 and 23 right, clear Papa,
that was the Ice. Who? Someone Air?
Alpaca 31 Kilo Foxtrot, push now approved to face west.
Push start approved facing west, Alpaca 31 Kilo Foxtrot. Tajikistan or something, I don't know. Alright, windows doors, all green and armed and closed. Beacon lights can now come on, which is here. That gets rid of the air bridge. Parking brake is set. Pushback flow transponder is set as well. And that's it.
5 Alpha Lima, thank you, pushing start approved face.
Lock and release, AP lead on.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
There we go. Whoa! A bit worried if the air bridge was doing that.
Just report your stand number, please. Alpaca 15 Mike.
Edge start sounds like this. Very nice. Big fan of them. It's wicked. Got the General Electric engines today. So I like N1 and not EPR. Right, starting engine in. We'll go to A. There's the packs coming off. And we'll select
Takeoff, continue taxi now, holding point Mike 1 for 23 right, 5 Delta, Papa, Kilo and Juliet.
There's oil pressure. And N1.
Parker 2 Golf, continue taxi, holding point Mike 1 for 23 right, via Delta, Papa, Kilo
20% fuel in. EGT.
Holding point Mike 1 via Delta Papa, Kilo and Juliet for 2 right, Parker
45% N2. The open lights up here will extinguish. Engage there. So 43, 44. There's the open light extinguishing. It says arm. N1 must be obtained within 30 seconds, reaching into idle speed. That's all looking good. There's the generator going on the line. And you can start on engine number 2. There's EGT decreasing now. Starting engine number 1. N2. Oil pressure N1. There's 20%.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Wants to watch the engine start. That's lots of fun. There we go.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Look at the sunset on it as well. And remember, the stream quality isn't representative. It does have a slightly lesser quality. I know you can't hear me, but I guess you don't care. It sounds amazing. N2 boss is cool, love it. stable.
067, contact tower.
Hello, Lauren. It's still winter. It's always night in Iceland. Not this time of year. Isn't it 12 hours
Bell
daylight?
is disconnected and
No.
bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Yeah, in the middle of winter it's very dark, and in the summer it's very light. They get like 3 hours night in the summer and about 20 hours night in the winter.
Pago 15 Mike Kilo, Roger, hold position. The 1 to taxi ahead.
Sorry, we'll do the flow now. Right, engine start's done there, so I have to start slow. Oh my goodness, I have to start flow. Ignition off, APU bleed is off, APU master switch is off, anti-ice is not required, speed brake is armed. No, it's not. No, it is. Rudder trim check 0, slats and flaps to 15. Trim set for takeoff, which it is, 1.6 units down. And then we just need to request taxi and do the flight control check whilst we're taxiing out. So I'll put that to taxi. And we'll request taxi.
I share 5 Alpha Lima. Share 5 Alpha Lima, same for you. There'll be 2 taxi ahead. You can taxi November Charlie 2. So confirm hold position for HF5 Alpha Lima? Negative. Taxi November Charlie 2, straight ahead. Apologies, November Charlie 2, HF5 Alpha Lima.
Alpaca 3-1 Kilo Foxtrot, request taxi.
Alpaca 3-1 Kilo Fox, taxi holding point Mike 1 for 23 right, via November Charlie, Delta, Papa, Kilo and Juliet.
Goddamn Manchester. Mike 1, runway 23 right by November, Charlie, Delta, Papa, Kilo, Juliet. Alpaca 3-1 Kilo Foxtrot. Always the same here. Right, parking brakes released.
Manchester ground,
No config check.
534 Echo, ready
There we
for
are,
start.
no config warning. Same as the 737.
534 Echo.
I think there's an additional
start
test to do, but
approved.
apparently that's one to do in the
Start
37.
approved, Hollywood 534.
There we are, so November Charlie. And then we're going to go Delta
Packet 22 Golf, just give way to the British Airways
and
Concorde
Papa, so
joining Juliet.
there's
on the
Delta,
left.
and then we're going to make a left there on Papa.
Good way to the Concorde, Packet 2 Golf.
Concorde? Amazing. Sounds on this are superb.
And Alpaca 15 Mike Kilo, taxi holding point Mike 1, via Romeo,
This is the
November
best
Charlie,
stand there.
Delta,
This is the
Papa,
best chart
Kilo
there.
and Juliet.
As that BA74 taking off into that. Make sure I stay on the taxi light. Too busy watching the 74 taking off. So beam 63. Right here, so we're on Lima now. And then we'll go around to Echo, and then El Papa will be on the
3 Foxtrot,
left.
ground hello, push and start at stand 42. Number 3 Foxtrot, ground hello, push and start approved, stand 42, face south. Push start approved, face south, shuttle 3
So
Foxtrot.
we're on to Delta now, and then we're going to take Papa. So there's Delta. There's
Packet 22 Golf, thanks, continue taxi Mike
Is
1
Papa-
and contact the
is
tower
there any signs of Papa?
118 Mike 1, tower 165.
So that's the second left. This is Papa here, even though it says Delta. I'm pretty sure this is Papa. Yeah. So
5 Alpha Lima, taxi holding point Papa
I don't
4 now via
think
November
the
Charlie.
signage is
Delta
right.
and
Yeah. So
Papa.
that's saying here. Look, that left there is saying this is left on Delta, but it's not. Look, that next left is
Papa 4
Papa. This is
for
Papa.
Alpha Lima.
So the signage is wrong.
Roger, taxi to Papa 4 via
Yeah.
November
Sorry,
Charlie.
I would
Delta
swap
and
around it, but
Papa,
I'm very
and
confident this is
Alpha Lima.
Papa. Oh, Bowen, the markings and terminals are wrong. Ah, thanks. That's thanks for clearing that up. Yeah, don't rely on the signage then with the Aerosoft scenery. Oops, need to update that then. No wonder they flogged it for free. Right, there's Papa. Next is Kilo. So that's going to be the second left for us up here. And then we'll do the before takeoff checklist. Beautiful. so funny looking. It looks like it should be longer. It's very hard to taxi in the external view. Excellent. So second left is Kilo. This is Bravo. And that's wicked. Look at that shadow. And don't go straight on because you'll enter the runway.
Manchester ground, Halimed 534, Echo ready for taxi.
And now we're on Papa. I'm sorry,
Halimed 534,
Kilo. It's just a straight line all the way to the
Echo,
point.
Roger, you can
Can't get
left
lost
and
now.
air taxi, holding point Kilo 4. You can taxi to
Right, let's do
holding
the full
point Kilo
takeoff
4,
checklist.
Halimed 534, Echo.
So, flight controls. On the sense there. Full back. Full forward. Full left. Full right. So I have to quickly do the rudder because it is linked to the tiller for me. Full right.
Manchester ground, good
And full left.
afternoon. This is the KLM 1635.
Flight controls checked. Flight directors are on. All the brakes set to max.
KLM
Brakes are on. Transponder set with the radar.
Pushing, start
Turn
approved,
on now as
face
well.
west. Start approved, face to the west. KLM
System
1635, cheers.
Onto turbulence, +5 on the tilt. And takeoff config, there is an actual. Is there a separate button? Yes, there is. It's that one there. There we are. Takeoff test normal. There we are. Ready for departure, but I'll do my own operator's check. Hello, Concorde. Alpaca Concorde. He might beat us to Keflavik, if I'm honest, if he is joined the same way. Right, let's do my operators before takeoff checklist. So config we've checked, flaps we've got 15 and 50.
Continue taxi,
Stab
holding
trim
point Juliet
is
1 via Papa Kilo and Juliet.
1.6 units down. Takeoff briefing, air conditioning is all set for the
Taxi
A310.
1 Juliet 1 via Papa Kilo
V speeds are set as well.
Juliet.
We've got 155, 157, 161 preset, then 230 knots to clean speed. The departure is the Pole Hill 5 Romeo, climbing straight ahead 3 miles Manchester, which is here. And then it's 344 to Zermatt, and then to Pole Hill. Stop altitude is 5,000 feet, set on the MCP, NADP2. So I'll use profile mode and nav.
31 Kilo Foxtrot, contact tower 118.625.
118.625, Alpaca 31 Kilo Foxtrot. Thank you very much, HC. Have a nice day.
2 thanks.
Over to tower. So yeah, we'll use profile mode and nav mode. So profile mode will allow it to deal with the speeds. It'll then accelerate the aircraft, and then approaching. It's quite a low stop altitude. We'll use vertical speed to slow our rate of climb down to level off at 5,000 feet. So that's it. Check is complete. We'll imagine the cabin is secure. Turn the lighting on. Soon it's going to be dark. So I've noticed on the INI Simulations guidance, they've changed it slightly. So a lot of people have commented how the engines are quite slow to spool up. There's been a lot of discussion and debate about it in their Discord and in certain forum posts. They have actually adjusted the guidance now. It does say advanced thrust levers to 40%, then advanced thrust throttles to the takeoff position, then push the toga button, which is simulated to this screw here. So I think that's just to allow the engine to spool up a little bit quicker, so a little bit more realistically as well. I tried it on the test sector, it worked out quite well. Right, best check in with Tower here. Tower, good evening, Alpaca 31 Kilo Foxtrot, holding point Juliet 123 right, ready for departure in sequence.
Alpaca 31 Kilo Foxtrot, Manchester Tower, good evening, hold Juliet 1.
Hold Juliet 1, Alpaca 31 Kilo Foxtrot.
Hello, Alpaca 15 Mike Kilo, holding Mike 1 ready for departure.
How cool is this?
15 Mike Kilo, Manchester Tower, hello, hold Mike 1.
Realistic looking scenery, live weather. It's a lovely day in the UK today. Absolutely wicked. Fucking great set. Sam,
447, welcome
breakfast
to
and pub
Manchester,
on
right
Sunday,
turn Bravo,
amazing.
ground 121.85.
I can do by before takeoff flow here before I forget.
121.85.
Let's do some line-up actions. All the lights on. Strobes, turn off lights. Nav logo lights, don't need the brake fans on. Ignition not required, packs as required, leave them on. TCAS to TARA. And that's all set. wants it. Need to watch the Concorde take off, we do. I'm afraid we won't get the exact proper sound you'd expect. It's a very like, basic CSL model. But it still looks pretty cool. Boom, there he goes. Look how it rocks as well with that's in velocity as you release the brakes. You imagine the noise of this in reality if that was really taking off. It would be absolutely ferocious. I mean, as a passenger 737, you can hear an A320 or a 737 take off. You imagine Concorde. Cool. It sends goosebumps down my spine. Ooh. Very cool. Ooh, quite a quick rotation. half the Concorde is in the runway. Ooh, there it goes. We've got helicopters. It's a very slow climb. There he goes. Amazing. It's nothing as unique as that side.
Tree 1 Kilo Foxtrot via Juliet 1, line up 2 tree right.
Via Juliet 1, line up 2 3 right. Sound back 3 1 Kilo Foxtrot. So we've got everything set up. So MCP set. Transponder is TRA. Strobe lights on. Just waiting for our takeoff clearance. Yeah, Johnny's rotation was a bit like yours.
Juliet 3, waiting on some white one, got a couple aircraft in front.
Try and line up in this room.
Manchester Tower, hello, Roger, when able, hold Mach 1. Yep, when able, hold Mach 1, we're to Juliet 3 standard. Manchester Tower, Halimerd 534 Echoes with you at Juliet, Papa 1. Med 534 Echo, Manchester Tower, hello, hold Papa 1. Papa 1, Halimerd 534 Echo. Tiger Tree 1 Kilo Foxtrot, the service wind 170 degrees 5 knots, runway 2 tree right, cleared takeoff.
Runway 2 3 right, cleared takeoff, Alpaca 3 1 Kilo Foxtrot. Tokens in chat, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to Keflavik. Let's start my timer before you guys start shouting at me. I'll advance the thrust levers to about 40%.
I got 5-1 Mike Kilo behind the
good. Stabilise. So advance the thrust levers manually. Set takeoff thrust.
2 tree right behind.
There we are, a bit too high because I set full power. There we are, going back to 96.0. Takeoff thrust set, indication stall. That's my bad. The 80 knots checked. Release forward pressure. A little bit of right rudder coming in. There's V1, rotate.
Manchester Tower, 805 Alpha Lima, Juliet for Juliet 1, fully ready for departure.
Pulse rate climb, gears up.
5 Alpha Lima, Manchester Tower, hello, hold Juliet 1. Hold Juliet 1, 805 Alpha Lima.
Amazing. There's the right turn. And it's now accelerating. There's climb thrust coming in any second. So I think I can now go to flaps 015. There's the S for the selection of slats. There's climb
1
thrust.
Kilo Foxtrot, contact Manchester radar 118.575, enjoy Keflavik, bye bye.
At 118.575, thank you very much for the ATC. Alpaca 3-1 Kilo Foxtrot, good day, sir, bye. Perfect, over to radar, flaps are up. It's now accelerated to 250, ideally we wanted to stay at 230 just for the turns complete, but we'll accept that. We are in trim, there's command, and approaching 2 to go, so vertical speed, 2,000 feet per minute. And we'll check in with Manchester radar. Forget which frequency it is. There we are. Manchester Master Radar. Hello, it's Alpaca 31 Kilo Foxtrot on a Pole Hill 5 Romeo, passing 3,700 for altitude 5,000 feet.
Alpaca 31 Kilo Foxtrot, Manchester, hello, climb now, flight level 190.
Climb now, flight level 190, Alpaca 31 Kilo Foxtrot. So that's set, and we now set standard. Standard set, and we're going to select profile. Might level off if there's a restriction in the FMC. How do I delete restrictions? I think I just leave it in level change, don't I? And then I can select profile afterwards. There we are. That's fine. And after takeoff checklist is coming up. Spoilers. We can now disarm. Lights set. Nose and runway turn off lights we can turn off. Anti-ice is required, ignition off, APU verify off, which it is. I'll check the air conditioning and pressurisation, so diff pressure, it's about 2.0, climbing, as the cabin altitude set. And that's it, after takeoff check is complete. So I remember in the A320 or A340 stream, someone said if there's restrictions, you don't have the ability to delete them all, you just leave it in profile, speed limit exceeded. I struggled with that term. But yeah, I think once we get a direct, I can just go back to profile, but we'll leave it level change for now. And there we are, there's the right turn now in towards Pole Hill. Looks like it's tuned in automatically. See, Pole Hill's 16 miles, there's 21 there. Beautiful. G-Boat, there's no need to worry about restrictions, no VNAV during climb at the 310, you can go straight to profile again. Thank you very much. See, this is the differences between the NG, which I am drilled in flying, but there you go, you're quite right, sir. Now it accelerates at 10,000 feet for it. Look at it climb as well. It's like an empty 737. Superb. So, accelerated 310 knots. How apt. Passing 105.
Radar, hello.
Flight level 190. So, pre-cruise check. So, fuel's all configured. Lights.
Alpaca 159 Kilo Manchester, climb now, flight level 190.
APU's off, pressurisation, diffs, 4 PSI, and set. Release passengers. Is there a recall function? Recall. No problems. Just as no smoking signs on. There we are, pre-cruise check is complete. Lorenzo, just after the rotation on the 737 during the initial climb path, does the auto trim work? Nevertheless, the autopilot isn't engaged. So there's something called the speed trim system in the 737. It's not really auto trim like the Airbus. It just gives a positive force on the control column to encourage you to...
Unicom 122.8, bye-bye.
Unicom 122.8, Alpaca 31 Kilo Foxtrot. Thanks, ATC, bye. Encourage you to fly back to the in-trim position, but you can override that with manual trim. Essentially, the 737 is a big Seneca when you're hand flying it. That's what you got to remember. Over to Unicom. It's great to have ATC for departure, though. And look at us go. Right, there's no ATC, so we'll go straight up to our cruise level. 360. And ETA is 1919. So a little over 2 hours, guys. Oh, I didn't put any winds in, though. I think you can do that using this. If we go to lighting here.
Welcome.
There we are. Over here, request wind data. And I think this will insert the wind data. Does that insert the waypoint winds? ACARS wind data inserted, apparently. Might get a more accurate ETA now. Thanks for subscribing, Rob Micken, welcome aboard, buddy. Thanks everyone tuning in as well. It's a bit earlier than the usual stream, and nice to be in the A310 again. This is all lovely Orbex True Earth outside. Overhead Pole Hill, that's the end of the SID. Well, that wasn't quite to scale on the chart, but there it is on the turn. I'm heading northwest now towards Scotland. Lake District soon. Beautiful. Hey Stefan, just got home. What a treat. Thank you very much, buddy. Hope you had a good day. And we've just taken off from Manchester on our way to Keflavik. Again, I have to say a massive thanks to Xometry Scenery for sending me over their Keflavik scenery. They've also given me an additional copy to give away, which I'll be doing after landing in Keflavik. All I'll need is your email address, and iniBuilds will add that to your iniBuilds store account if you are the lucky winner. Got a lot of stuff coming up on the channel, if I could squeeze it in. Lovely email from Just Flight offering me a couple of aircraft, which they are about to release a Microsoft Flight Simulator. One of them I've flown at X-Plane 11, the 146, the other one's a bit faster. Maybe a bit basic to what we used to on this channel, but I think it'll be good fun to try it out. It's great to try it out. Of course, in between all that, sectors of the Zemo mod. Or other available 737s. Right, how do I turn up the lighting here in this aircraft? I cannot remember. I think, there we are. Ah, much better. That's better. Getting pretty good FPS today. About 49, capped at 60. Beautiful. Look at the weather in the UK as well. Unusual. There we are. Already zipping northbound. I think our route does take us overhead Carlisle. Just having a look here on Navigraph, which is a little bit more accurate. So that's my routing here. So yeah, we're going to fly right over the top of Carlisle today, just to the west of Edinburgh, then overhead Stirling, and then we're going to make our way north of Scotland here, over Stornoway, and then flying quite close to the Faroe Islands, about here. We're just staying clear of oceanic airspace, and I think this is what I was saying earlier, what a Jet 2 flies. So if I bring up Navigraph for you, go on my own route. There you go, look, Ratsu is right on the corner of oceanic airspace, so this routing is flown by, I think, non-ETOPS aircraft or something like that.
50,
Just keep clear of oceanic
40,
airspace.
30, 20, 10.
Thank you, Julia Roberts, for your donation.
Meet me in Reykjavik and I'll happily show you the sights.
Thanks, Julia Roberts. Julia Roberts, I don't have my webcam here, I can't show you my cardboard cutout, but she said, meet me in Reykjavik and I'll happily show you the sights. ... Unbelievable. Thank you very much, Mrs. Roberts. £3.10, I've only just seen that. See what you did there, thank you very much for your generosity. No words. Oh, I need to get the wind noise down. Very realistic, but not good for streaming. Maybe something like that. That's a bit better. Yes. Yeah, still doing 3,000 feet per minute, 30,000 feet. That is like an empty 7.3. A lot of performance in this aircraft. Great. Well, I can remember how to fly it, just about. Soon misses. Love an estimate. Hi Yaroslav, my X-Plane performance was absolutely terrible last couple of days. Yesterday crashed 3 times during one flight. Thank God there's autosave. Oh dear, I'm sorry to hear that, Yaroslav. Fingers crossed. The A310 has autosave as well. It's default set to every 2 minutes. I've set it to every 10 minutes, so it saves every 10 minutes. Great. A lot of developers I don't know, I guess they know sometimes the sims are not always stable for everyone. Sometimes I have a very long spell with no problems and I have crashes every stream. Yeah, I don't want to jinx it. Steve, the centre altimeter is way ahead. Do you need to set standard on that as well? You're right. You're right. Now, this is the... I thought it was synced up, to be fair. Oh. It is now. The standby altimeter on the 737 isn't actually RVSM compliant, so it is quite common for the standby altimeter to differ quite a lot from the captain and first officer's altimeter, as much as 200 or 300 feet. I don't know about the A300. Obviously, it's a simulator, so it probably exactly match all the time. Do I have an MCDU message? Oh yes. No displayed nav aid. I have no idea what that means. Well, no nav aids are displayed. I don't know what that will result in. Thomas, do you think you'll get PMDG 737 early? Probably not. I'm not involved in the development process of that aircraft at all. I'll probably get it on day one release like everyone else. But I've already committed. I will commit a date to like do an instruction stream and have a look. So there'll be a lot of interest in that.
Approaching
Very cool to get early access, but I think they have a very in-house dev team. Keep themselves to themselves and whatnot. I haven't asked though, to be fair. Hal Wilson Bet, thank you very much for 3 months as a member. Just go vertical speed here as we zip on up to our final cruise now. We do this to avoid any potential TCAS RAs. So vertical speed. Maintain decimal 78. Thanks, Hal Wilson Bet, 3 months member. Flying with EasyJet soon. I hope my membership won't cancel the moment I step on an Airbus. Thanks to the content. How we love all types of aircraft over here at Flight Deck to Sim. Boeing, even Airbus, Embraers, Concords, you name it. We love you. Thank you very much and have a great trip. Enjoy your flight on the Airbus. Amazing. Quasimodo, your gear's not in the off position. Thanks. There you go. It is now. There we are, approaching 360. We're cruising at decimal, so equal 79 or 77, and then it goes up to 79 at some point. Very good. Who is excited for the Bahrain Grand Prix this weekend? I'm very excited. I'm halfway through Drive to Survive on Netflix. Really enjoy that. It's a bit sensationalised, but it makes it great. I've just finished watching episode 4. I haven't finished it yet. But I am flying on Sunday, but I am on earlies. And I land at 1 o'clock in the afternoon if it gets a 3 PM UK race, so I should be fine to watch the race as long as I don't get delayed or stuck down route. But yes, very much looking forward to it.
$50, $40, $30, $20, $10.
Thank you very much, Steve Cooksley for the 5. Appreciate it, buddy.
I can't believe I got something right for once.
Thanks.
Smiley face.
Thanks, Steve. I'm out of context again. What did you get right? I've completely missed something there. Oh my goodness me. Thank you very much for your generosity, though. I'll try and keep an eye out on chat as to what it is. Amazing. Thank you very much. Tell me about your new shotgun. Yes, Matt Warren, I did buy a shotgun today. I don't have my license, so my friend who has a license came with me. I purchased it, but he took it home and it's on his license. I've waited over 5 months for my license. It's a Beretta. It's a Beretta Ultra Leggero. It's a half sporter game gun. Quite light. I really like the feel of it. Yeah, really excited to shoot that. Steve, I'm sorry about that. I don't know what you were referring to there. But here we are. F1 Talk is what I like to see. Rasmus, yes. Oh, Ben Matthews, hope you're doing well. Last time we spoke, you were carbon fibering some seats for a Formula 1 team. Amazing. Got fed to make a bloody cast now. Amazing. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Hopefully it'll get a bit quieter once the season starts. Go Ferrari. Who really knows? I mean, what are we thinking, guys? I mean, Mercedes... I have to support George Russell. Where George Russell is from, Wisbech, is about 10 miles away. I mean, he's a little bit younger than me, so I didn't know him growing up. But he went to school. I could have gotten to the school he went to. I actually chose a different grammar school. It was a little bit closer. I went to Spalding Grammar School. He went to Wisbech. So I'll be rooting for George massively. And Mercedes-Benz this season. Now, Lewis has done his usual thing, saying, oh, the car's not great, and Merc have as well. They'll probably have a very fast car by the time Bahrain comes around. But I watched some of testing. It was great to see how close some of the cars were, some overtaking. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? It'll be just great to have 4, maybe 5 people fighting for the championship. Well, it would be amazing to have everyone, but just to have not just Mercedes dominance, even Merc and Red Bull dominance. It'd be great to have a real mix. I mean, it was great last year having McLaren win, Ferrari. Did Ferrari win any last year? They did, didn't they? I'm trying to think now.
Minimums.
Max won.
Minimums.
Monaco,
Minimums.
didn't he?
Approaching minimums.
I'm still not finished Drive to Survive yet. Amazing.
Minimums.
Hashtag
Minimums.
pay.
Minimums.
Can you show the aircraft outside? I can do. I'll just jump outside. Let me just turn the external volume down here. deafen you all outside. We'll do a little cabin tour later as well. Oh my god, that's still very loud, sorry. There we go. That's the beautiful livery by Moen, one of my moderators. German Moen, so many other great guys that make liveries for our unofficial Alpaca Airways virtual airline. Beautiful. But support Hamilton and Russell too. Yeah, I suppose I do still support Hamilton. He's not my favourite personality-wise person, but I do still support him. I supported him last season. I was livid at the last race. It was obviously under very controversial circumstances. Max won, but George, being from very close to where I'm from, it'll be him all the way. Ben knackered now. 70-hour weeks overrated. Hopefully it'll quieten down soon. Oh my goodness. Well, it'll be good to see you soon. We need to organise another race, guys. It's been about 3 or 4 weeks since we've not done a sim race. I am on standby one of these days. Don't forget, next week we're doing the MOGF on a weekday, because I am working every weekend right up until April. Lisbon first of Moustache, now the Burrito Kansas Morning 1900 Huntsman. I can already see him covered in tweeds sitting in his castle. Unbelievable. I did buy a ski jacket today as well. But no tweed. Look at the tail. It looks great, doesn't it? It's a smashing exterior model. Addy Mambo, just catching up here. Thank you very much, 7 months as a member. Thank you for the content, Captain, and for your social media stories as well. Always a pleasure engaging with your followers. Thank you very much, Eddie. Yes, I like to post on primarily Instagram story from time to time, take a few pics at work here and there. I must apologise if you do message me on social media. I just cannot and do not have the time to message on a one-on-one basis for the last 2 years, really. I do try and read most of them, but I do see everything there. But yeah. Appreciate your kind words. Thank you very much, 7 months, and welcome to Anubis of Egypt, maybe. Welcome as a member. Glad you enjoy the content. You get invited to our members only Discord. I hope you enjoy using the custom motion chat. I don't know if any of you can hear me. It is incredibly loud out here. But thank you for the support. Cheers. We'll see you in the Discord. Look at that, the sun setting. Do a fuel check, next waypoint. Yeah, shame he was stiff. That race should have been his 8th championship, but it is what it is. Yeah, I think if he'd won that championship as well, I think he would have retired. Because, I don't know if you agree with me, for me, I feel Hamilton's lost. He doesn't say he has, but I feel he's lost his passion for it, personally, a little bit. That's just my opinion, looking at how he is, his demeanour and stuff. So, I think he's ready. He wants to do other things, doesn't he? So, it'd be really good to see how he races with George, or how he's put up to with George. Because I think George is really quick. And he's proved himself in the Merc already, when he took over from Hamilton. Was that last year or the year before? When Bottas had COVID, didn't he? And he was quick. He would have won that race, but he had a technical issue, didn't he? Come on, I was one for delighted how it was ended. Dutch by any chance? Approaching Glasgow and Edinburgh. It's all Orbex True Earth. It's a little bit hazy, but that's why I like the enhanced skyscapes. This sort of atmospheric colour you get. It's absolutely spot on. Where do you stand on the no pod? Yeah, it looks really unusual, doesn't it? I mean, how does it cool the engine? I don't understand. Is it all through the intake above their head? I don't know. Crazy. There's probably all sorts of intercoolers and whatnot, but yeah, very I wouldn't say controversial, but if that's what these car developers do, they look at the rules and what their stipulations are, and they build a car right on the edge of these rules and within the allowable limits. And obviously things do get banned as the season goes on. Everyone's guilty of that. Overhead to Tala VOR. Let's do a fuel check and time check.
$50, $40, $30, $20,
Ah,
$10.
thank you very much, Alex van der Pass, for the €10. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you.
I'll donate more when one of the next live streams will be in A321 Neo.
Soon. A lot of people, one of the members of Discord tagged me and asked me, can you do a stream in the Fly Live? Oh, what's it called? Not Fly Live. You know the one I mean, on Microsoft Flight Simulator, the Zebo equivalent. I've only flown it once, and apparently a lot has changed since I last flew it, which was probably over a year ago. So I'll probably try that at some point. This isn't an Airbus to me, but usually when I fly a modern Airbus, I need a few streams to recover. But yeah, I think next time we jump into an Airbus, it'll be probably the fly-by-wire. That's not the fly-by-wire. Thanks, guys. The fly-by-wire for Microsoft Flight Simulator. We'll have a look at that. But I'll try and squeeze a stream in on Thursday. I'm on earlies on Friday, earlies on Saturday. Am I on standby now? On Sunday? I was flying, but they changed it to a standby. I'm just taking a look at my roster. Flying Friday, standby on Saturday, flying on Sunday, and yeah, I'm really busy. To have a bit of time off end of March though, so look at that. So it'll probably be Zebo Mod next. Thank you very much though, Alex van der Pass, for the €10. Really appreciate that. And I'll make a mental note to jump into fly-by-wire at some point. Anyway, Tala, fuel check, 13.8, 14 miles past it now. Should have been there 21 minutes. Been airborne now for 24, so yeah, it was probably 23, so a couple minutes late. We're at 360. We should have burned 3.5 tons of fuel. So if I go to fuel here, there we are, fuel. Where's fuel used? I know what I've got on board, so I can just subtract the two. What did we take? We took 22 tons, we got 19, so we burned 3 tons. And we should have had 3.5. So yeah, we're saving fuel. The taxi wasn't quite as long as well, so that's alright. And we'll do another fuel check later on at Baku, which is where we're direct to at the moment, which is 340 miles away. I don't think we'll see Edinburgh tonight. Maybe we will. Oh gosh, we can see Edinburgh. There we are. There's the 3 bridges, the 4th rail bridge. There's Edinburgh Airport. I easily see Edinburgh. Oh, Alex, you want a toeless fly-by-wire? Oh, toeless is better than a fly-by-wire. I don't know. I'm not the expert there. There is the capital of Scotland. All looking good. Oh, Quasimodo fuel uses in the fuel flight. I think you're right, actually, it's on the gauge, isn't it, down here? Yeah, there we are. Yeah, fuel use 3.1 tons now. Perfect. Is it moving fuel in the trim tank? It's all automated, being an Airbus. Get rid of the weather in Manchester. Superb. There's Edinburgh. Very nice. A Friendly Fish. What's the song that plays when waiting for the stream to start? It is a custom-made song by the members of the channel. They wrote that about a year ago or so, and they composed it, contributed a little bit there. And they made that to me as a surprise. That's it. Very, very lucky to have that. Just a polite reminder, everyone in chat as well, we're obviously all very well aware of what's going on in the world right now. I do ask that we do keep conversation away from that. Obviously we've all got our opinions and thoughts on that. Obviously we're all thinking of everyone involved, so I do ask you to stay clear of such conversation. Thank you for your understanding. Microsoft Flight Simulator Phoenix should come out this year. Now Phoenix, I have heard, this is going to be a very good Airbus, I understand. I have seen previews and shots on the members Discord channel. I have a flight sim news channel, and they have constant updates there, and I do see the updates for that. It does look amazing, does look very, very nice. Some great aircraft coming over from Microsoft Flight Simulator, that is for sure. Very good. Matt UK, I'm looking forward to the British Superbikes along with the World Superbikes. I've picked a few of those up in my time. Now, my grandfather, oh no, sorry, my great-grandfather, Matt UK, I won't mention his name to keep it anonymous. He was a world champion motorbike racer. He actually held a world record at one point. I can't remember the name of the beach down south, and he held the speed record for a number of years back in the 20s or 30s, and he was in the RAF as well. He didn't fly, or he did something on Sopwith Camels, I know that. So I suppose I've got a little bit of aviation in my blood, but yeah, my dad, he passed away years ago, had a little bit of interest in motorbiking. I don't know, I think one day I might own a bike. I do like them. I think it's just the thing that, you know, there's a lot of nutters on the road, isn't there? I just don't feel safe on one yet. Maybe when I get older. I do appreciate a good, you know, a motorbike and stuff, but I don't know anything about them. My new hobby is the shooting. Maybe later I'll go into bikes. Excellent. Presmo, what Orbex Great Britain are using? I'm very fortunate, Presmo, to have all of the Orbex True F. So this is, I don't know what Scotland covers. We'll see, because of, no, look at that, amazing. Because of the time of day, with the sun setting, it's quite difficult to see geographically here. But we are all over the locks now. About to fly over Loch Earn. There's Loch Earn. Obviously Orbex True F. Bumble around GA, nice on the ground, look fantastic. That looks amazing. You see the locks in the distance here. I would really implore most of you to visit Scotland if you get a chance. Beautiful part of the world. Been on holiday a few times. I'm going hiking in Scotland in May with two of my best friends. I'm trying to get a little bit fitter at the moment for that. Doing some stretches and longer walks with Jack, who's just with me. Now, I'm not one for shout-outs and endorsing products and things like that, but I don't know if any of you have Labradors or dogs who are 7 or 8 years old. Jack, the last few months, began to show signs of hip dysplasia. There's a little bit of cartilage worn on his legs, and he's absolutely fine, but on very long walks he would start to limp and sometimes not be able to move. Lasted about 24 hours. Spoke to the vets, read online, and we started a course of tablets. The stuff's called UMove. It's YUMOVE, UMove. We've got the Advanced 360. He's on a high dosage at the moment. He has 6 tablets a day, 3 with each meal. And he's been on them for 2 weeks, and I have noticed an instant improvement. I read the reviews online, and I thought, well, really? Can it be that good? And they are incredible, so I'd really advise if anyone has a dog to try this stuff out. I'm not being paid by UMove to say this. This is a flight sim channel, not a dog dog mobility channel. But this stuff is amazing. I've noticed immediate improvement. I've been walking on long walks, come back. It's like he's a puppy again. Obviously, as he gets older, it won't be as effective. But they're not. It's a supplement. 3 tablets a day for the first 4 weeks, and then it takes 4 a day. But wow, really, really impressed with this stuff. Really impressed. Yeah, he's just over 7. He's not old, but he's still off the lead. Typical dog, very happy, bolts all over the place. You know, I'll walk for 3 miles, he'll have walked 10, sort of thing. You know. But yeah, really can recommend that stuff. Rayan, in real life, have you landed in Skiathos? I haven't. I've not been to Skiathos. Tim, behave yourself. Nicholas, what breed is he? He's a Golden Labrador. If you look on my Instagram, I made a little post Instagram reel post of Jack. If you want to go see him on my Instagram page. And if I had yoke cam set up /Jack cam, you'd be able to see him, but not, it's not up to date. Wonder what the human dosage would be. Yeah, I know, Romulus. I mean, I'm still reasonably young. I'm in my 30s, but I'd be honest, because of my work and because, you know, streaming, I spend a lot of time sat down, and the more I watch about it online and scary stuff, it's sitting down, it's really bad for you, bad for your spine. And as I turn 30 now, I'm still fit and healthy. I eat very well and I exercise enough, but I've just noticed like bits are starting to ache, especially if I've been sat down at work all day. Because if you do a Canaries and back from the UK, you're sat for 4.5 hours, you get to your destination, turnaround's less than an hour, you sat down the whole time there, and then you fly back. So you sat down for 10-11 hours, and you can do 5 of those on a row. And yeah, it's beginning to, just my lower back, it's not bad, but I've started doing lots of stretching now and all sorts of stuff. I'm standing up now as I speak. Tim. Algorithm, do you plan to do a transatlantic stream? I don't generally do long flights like that. Trying to keep the sectors less than 2.5 hours. If I'm doing a 2-sector stream, try to keep the sector no more than an hour max really. Because otherwise, it's not that I don't run out of stuff to talk to, but you guys want to see the approach briefings, the takeoffs and landings. So this is like the typical sector I do on a stream. Streams are about 3 hours long, 3.5 hours long. Nice time to chat, chill out. You guys can ask some questions, and I'll answer and really enjoy it. But we do the cross the ponds. I will not be able to attend cross the pond this year, I'm afraid, because the one in April, because I am flying. Guys, I mean, as far as concerned, if you're outside the UK and didn't know here, all restrictions in the UK have ended. From this weekend, all travel restrictions end as well. So if you fly into the UK, you don't need any paperwork whatsoever. It's just pre-COVID. Everything's back to pre-COVID. It's great news. And as far as everything concerned at work, my roster from now is flat out. I've got a couple of standbys in them, but I've been on a weekend roster. And from next month I'll be back on the normal roster, so I'll have weekends free, which is great. A bit more time off. Matt, I can diagnose this flood to see we're getting old. Exactly. Yaroslav, question: is there a right way to navigate the QRH in abnormal situations? It takes me ages to find the checklist I need. Fantastic question, Yaroslav. That's something we don't often cover. So let me jump in here. Let me grab a QRH online. Now, I think the PMDG QRH you can just grab online. Let's have a look at that one. I think there's a free one available. Here it is. And then we'll go through the QRH quickly. So let me just find that here. So let me just open that in my PDF. Because there is a right way of using a QRH, and there's very much a wrong way as well, and it's taking a bit of time. So let me grab that and download and open. So charts, where's this? So you guys should see this is the PMDG QRH, which is a bit outdated, 2008, 14 years ago. So first page is very little's changed. There have been some changes to checklists, and I wouldn't recommend. Well, do not use this if you're in your type rating or training, but for sim use, absolutely fine. This is a QAI, Quick Action Index. So these are things you need to find quickly, and they all mostly contain memory items. So each of these, you call for the checklist, you then complete the items. Elevator time limit cycle oscillation. What on earth is that? Don't have that on the normal ones. But yeah, this is QAI, and then you have the chapters. The first one is light, so anything that has a light is in capital letters, and you can find it quickly here in the checklist. And then next have alphabetical. So this is every checklist, unenunciated, sorry, is anything that's not a light, and then alphabetical is every checklist. Now notice here, in capital letters, if it's in capital letters, that means there is a light associated with this checklist that's illuminated, and then you call for it. If it's not in uppercase, if it's in lowercase like this, airspeed unreliable, aborted engine start, that means there's not a light associated with that checklist. So light, brake pressure indicator, no light, so it's not in uppercase. config, warning, ditching. Obviously there's no light associated with that. So yeah, that's that. If you quickly need to find something and you don't know where to look, the first thing is best to go to alphabetical and look up the condition, and then that will give you the chapter number. Now all the numbers correspond to a different part of the aircraft. Now it's exactly the same as ours really. Yeah, then have normal checklists, whatnot there. So you have all the different numbers 1 to 15, and each one represents a different system. So for example 13 all the way here is hydraulics. You've got 15 which is warning systems, and that represents the applicable chapter in FCOM 2 as well. So chapter 2 is air systems as well, and then let's imagine, I don't know, that's a serious one, loss of thrust on both engines. So these up to that dash line, those are memory items. The memory items haven't changed, they're exactly the same as they are here. So loss of thrust on both engines. If you look on here on the QAI, there it is, loss of thrust on both engines. So you do everything up to the dash line, can't find it now, by memory, and then you then call for the checklist to complete it as well. That's about it really. Whenever you have a non-normal condition, the first thing you have to do, and it's very important that you do this, for example, let's say I have an engine cal anti-ice light on, it's very important you take the time to read the condition and the objective. So the condition is what's happened, the objective, what is the checklist trying to achieve. Alright, so the first thing, you want to make sure the light's illuminated. So if the light isn't illuminated, you've not met the condition statement. So you put the QRH away, but the condition is if this light's illuminated, an engine cowl anti-ice duct overpressure occurs. So the heat from the bleed system to the engine cowl with the engine anti-ice is a leak somewhere, or it's overpressured, not leak, sorry, and it's no longer operative. And the objective of this checklist is to reduce the cowl duct pressure by reducing thrust. So if condition allows, disconnect the auto throttle and reduce thrust until the light extinguishes, and that's the end of the checklist. The 4 dots means finish the checklist. So that's the part here. Now here is very important as well. If you have a choose one step, you have to choose one of the options, and it's very important you get it right because you might get misdirected here. So you have choose one, it could be multiple, it could be 2 like this. There's at least 2 if that's the case there. And then you have one, where's the switch position in this case, and if it's on you do this, end the checklist. If it's off you go to step 2 and then you do this, then that ends the checklist there. So that's it. That's the QRH. Great question. Glad I pulled that out. And as operator, obviously every 6 months we jump in the simulator and we go over non-normal situations. Over the course of 3 years we've covered pretty much all the systems on the 737, and each time we'll look at a different system. And you just take your time and don't rush. And when I'm at work, every few weeks or so I'll grab the QRH and just have a little flick through it. Just keep up to date. Fresh with all the things that you need to know. Wow, that was out on a whim, but I know you guys like to see all the intricacies of things like that. I do actually have a tutorial on the QRH. My early tutorials, which is pretty cool. Excellent. When it comes to this thing though, obviously that QRH has moved on to here, and you get all your messages on this massively oversized screen with regards to checklists of what to do. And on the A350, it'll do that, and even things like rapid depressurization. I think there's a button you can press for it to descend, do everything for you. Cracked boy, how much time left to Keflavik? Let's have a look here. You've got the ETA up here, which is 1904 Zulu, which is as the crow flies, but realistically it's going to be about 1922 because we're going to do a 180 and slow down as well. So about an hour and 35 minutes, I'd say. GHL, Captain, where did you get that PMDG QRH from? Type in Google PMDG QRH. There you go. Quasimodo, is this something more serious? Loss of both wings? You know, there's not much QRH can do in that situation. Brilliant. Missed a bit of chat here. Chatting away in the QRH there. Hope you're doing well, Andy H1302. Nice to see you popping in. Gets worse when you do a sitting down job and get over 50. Uh oh. Lauren, how about evening March 25th? DTW is having a big event. Let me have a look at my roster here. Is it the MOG? Is that around where the MOG-F is? Did you say? March 25th. Standby. I am on a standby. A late standby. Possibly. I could probably do that. Probably. Tom hates cats. Have you experienced an engine fire or failure? Touchwood, no. CFM on the NG, very reliable engine. Very reliable. I've never had any problems with the engine. Ray, what's your airline? I think that's been catered for. Yeah, that's something I don't wish to disclose. Thank you for your understanding. It's a 7371. Blindingly obvious, but I won't discuss. Domino A350
50,
can basically
40,
fly without the
30,
pilot. Yeah, it's very
20,
clever, isn't it?
10.
Thanks, Dominic, for the $5. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Captain. The FD2S live stream today is a welcome diversion from the current state of affairs happening in Eastern Europe. Thanks.
You're most welcome, Dominic. Thank you very much for your generosity for the $5. It's obviously, we were discussing briefly earlier. It's distressing, and again, I count myself very lucky, obviously, and as I'm sure most of you do. But horrible situation for a lot of people, and so hopefully things will get sorted soon. But I'm glad you found it as a distraction. I'm certainly using other things as a distraction. I'm obviously following it very closely at the start. I'm such a fan of keeping it close. Yes, thank you very much, Dominic. Appreciate it, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Roberts, 310 like guys would be appreciated. How many likes do we have? 242. Yes, if you like the video, 310 likes would be a wonderful target. Appreciate it. Thank you. Cheers, Robert S, for the 3 months as a member as well. Happy to be in your community, Captain. Thank you very much, Robert. Great to have you here as well. Thank you for your continued support as a member. Really appreciate it. And stay in touch. Discord. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Vink 3. Is there a 777 livery for the Alpaca? I don't think there is. Not for the Flight Factor or the PMDG. I don't think there is. Have you going to watch Fury v White? Is that boxing? I don't follow boxing, so I'm guessing that's a big game. Dealey, have we discussed the ETS2 Convoy stream recently? Oh, we were meant to have done that 6 months ago. With the limited time I have, obviously this channel comes first. The newly rebranded Airline Pilot Plays channel, my gaming channel, hasn't had a stream on it recently. What was the last stream I did? It was a train sim. I think it was over a month ago again. You know, I try to get more content out there as well, but in between flight deck sim stuff I do outside and work, I'm constantly busy. I love it. I love being busy. You know, I don't get much time to sit down and do anything at the moment, but that's the way I like it. Yeah, we'll organise something in one day. Remind me in another 6 months. That's Jack's tail. I don't know if you can hear it. Good boy. All right. He's just he's been asleep under my legs. He's just woken up. Good boy. Good boy. Oh, Bats, there is one for PMDG. Ah, yeah, I'm sure that's the one you made. Very good. It's a big fight, the type you don't get often these days. Very cool. I don't follow, I'm afraid. Many Miles, 13 months as a member. Thank you very much. Looking forward to the 80k subscriber event. Let's get that subscription count up. Thank you very much, Many Miles. One for the 13 months. Appreciate it, buddy. Yes, not too far away. I reckon come summer we'll be approaching 80,000 subscribers. We'll dedicate a day to a stream, as you well know, since passing 50,000 subscribers. Well, I went from 50 to 60,000 space of a week when Microsoft Flight Simulator was released. We do a charity stream to support a good cause. The channel grows by about 10,000 subscribers every year or so. But it depends, obviously, if I get some cracking content out. But yeah, we'll get around to organising that soon. We'll have a nice long stream. 8,000 subscribers, 8 hours. I'll probably do some very long flights for a very good cause, and we'll have some fun and games along the way as well. Good boy.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Thanks a lot, Eddie Mambo, for the Swedish krona, 500 krona, thank you.
There's a rumour doing rounds that the captain wants to buy Chelsea. Is their new mascot going to be an alpaca?
Unbelievable, thank you very much, Eddie. Yeah, well, who here has received WhatsApp messages from your group of friends with all the memes going around with regards to Chelsea Football Club at the moment. It's unbelievable. I probably could, Eddie. Sponsored by Alpaca Airways, you imagine. Well, the colour matches, we are blue. Thank you very much. Someone sent me the other day a picture of, what was it, Chelsea Football Club's new club bus or coach, and it was the, I always forget the name of the bus company, it's the blue one with the big man on it with a £1 coin. It was quite funny. Obviously, yes, with Abramovich, he's in a bit of trouble, isn't he? Unbelievable. Thank you very much, Eddie, for the 500 Swedish krona. Unbelievable. I'm just messaging my mum. I forgot to text her, even though, you know, I'm a grown adult. And she still wants me to text to make sure I'm okay home, because we met up for lunch. It's quite a trek for me. It's about an hour and a half. There we are. Just text her, say I'm all back there.
Welcome.
Very good. That's done. Megabus, that was it. Megabus. I've been on a Megabus bus years ago. Rasmus 380. Have you thought about flying the Flight Factor 350? I have. There's so many incredible aircraft that I've yet to even venture into. Very cool aircraft I'm looking forward to flying is Otmar, who runs Wing 42. He's about to release his Boeing 247. I don't say 24/7, but I know it's that. It's an old school Boeing prop liner, I think from the 30s. Looks really exciting. Wing 42, well known for making the Blériot, which we tried, which is obviously a bit of a niche product. But great fun. We had great fun flying that Blériot on its initial stream. But he's made this Boeing 247. He's been making it for a long time. High quality. It looks really, really nice. All the systems are modelled. But he's experimenting with the pricing. He was going to sell it for $60, and it's going to be $20. And that's a permanent price. He wants to try and get a wider audience as well. But we'll be trying that very soon. He did message me the other day to offer give me a copy as well. So he's just trying to find the time to squeeze that in. And some of the Just Flight stuff as well coming in the next month or two. I'm going to try and find some time to get that as well. Very exciting. What is this blue dashed line? Oh, I've still got the weather radar tilted with +5. It's going to do nothing up here. If you've got the tilt up there, you want it around -1, -2 this height. Got a good wind as well. Nice little crosswind / tailwind. This is a heading up display, so our heading is 3-2. I need to match the heading there. What's it about 3-2-1, 3-2-2? I love how the heading display is just there on the right, left. Sorry, when you swing it over, it's on the right. That's really cool. I like that. So our nose is at 322 and tracking around 331. It's about 9 degrees of drift. Direct to Barking. It's the north of the UK now. There we are. Just flying over Stornoway. So probably won't see anything. It's gone all over Clarston County. What's our FPS now? It's capped at 60. Very nice. Simon, are you planning on getting the Just Like 146 from Microsoft Flight Simulator? Really enjoyed your X-Plane 146 streams last year. Simon, I have access to that already. It's just getting the time for that to stream. I have very limited time at the moment. Just like sent me or have offered the access to that before release. So yeah, I will definitely do that. It'd be nice to compare to the X-Plane one as well, which I really do enjoy flying. Once I get the Microsoft Flight Sim one, we'll do a 2-sector day in that. Maybe City again. We did City and X-Plane, but I'd like to maybe start somewhere, go somewhere else, and then City. Got to do City. London City. Lauren, fly the Boeing 247 on the McRobertson Air Race route, famous United Airlines 247 that lives in a National Air and Space Museum fluid. I'll look at that, because with the Blériot 11, one of the things I love about streaming for you guys is most of the time we do 2 sectors from A to B, but I really enjoy planning them. I love looking at the real route, the routing, for example, today. the satisfaction you get from using simulators, I still get myself.
Minimums, approaching
with the Blériot 11, I love reading about the first flight across the Atlantic, about the other flights over the Alps, and building a stream around that, sensitive for you. I enjoy the history. So yeah, I'll look into that. I should think Otmar will make a very detailed manual regarding some flights you can replicate, so I'll probably build it off that. But yeah, that'd be awesome. Nice to see that part of the world as well. Pan kind of missed the beginning of that. Which aircraft was Flight Deck Sim talking about? It was the upcoming Wing 42 Boeing 247. Robert S, what cost the next use date? I think it defaulted to 22, which is representative of the sim brief profile I had set up. So, also giving us Mach decimal 78. So this can go a lot faster. But yeah, we've got a lot of additional fuel here for our alternate as well. Nicholas F, welcome aboard as a member. Glad you enjoyed the content. You'll get invited to our members only Discord. Hope you enjoy using the custom modes in chat. Thank you very much for your support. Look forward to seeing you there. Cheers, buddy. Ooh, Astrodew, interesting. Paro in the 146. Told they did fly 146 to Paro in the 80s and 90s. Very cool. That would be interesting because the 146 is very underpowered. What's the elevation of Paro? I can't remember. We did in the NG once. It was one of the most difficult approaches I did, but it would be quite great to go visit that again. And it'd be nice to fly in a different part of the world. So yeah, I'll look into that. And the beauty of Microsoft Flight Simulator, you don't have to worry about ortho or scenery. It's just there. It's great. Jay's Bucks, have you seen any operational changes with the jump in the price of fuel? I'm not sure about it. What airlines typically do, they will hedge the fuel, that's what I was looking for. So they'll buy the fuel at a reduced rate in the past. So I should think operators hedged it. I'm not 100% sure of the economics of the terminology, but they buy the fuel at bulk at a cheaper rate. But that will filter through these higher costs at some point. So yeah, I've not heard anything personally. But yeah, it's atrociously expensive in the UK now. What's diesel now? 170, 175? Crazy. Hey Moviation, how's your day? Going very well, sir. My first day off, been a very busy day. Nice to be streaming now and enjoying the next couple of days off as well. Looking forward to it. Hope you're doing well too, buddy. Have you tried Sparky 744? It's like the Z-Boat. It's not 100% perfect, but way more flyable than the default. I have heard of the Sparky 744 from Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't think it's probably quite up to the Z-Boat. I mean, no offence to Sparky and the 744. I'm sure it's a much better addition than the default 744. But no, I'll perhaps try at some point. I think someone said in Discord a few times it actually is pretty good now. So, I mean, there's a million and one things to do. That's why I love streaming here. I've got so many different things I can try out. I must utilise YouTube community posts more and ask you guys, what do you want to see next stream? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? I do sometimes. Nico Sana, quick question. Is it strictly prohibited to reject takeoff after V1, or is it still PIC discretion? Amazing question. So, V1 is your no-go decision speed. You must decide at V1, are you taking off with your technical problem, or are you going around? Now, above 80 knots, we only reject for serious issues. Okay, so above 80 knots, engine problems, so an engine failure or an engine fire. If there's wind shear, so if we get a predictive wind shear warning, or in the eyes of the commander, he feels that the aeroplane is unsafe or unable to physically fly. Now that's at 80 knots to V1. Now V1 is decision speed. After V1, you are going, okay, for pretty much any problem you have. Now, in the incredibly unlikely event that above V1 you think that the aircraft is completely unflyable, so you're talking about dual engine failures, catastrophic failure of the aircraft, anything like that, you have very little time to decide what to do. Now, if you're field length limited, V1 very much, if you reject at V1, you're going to use all the runway up. If you're taking off somewhere with a 4,000 metre runway and you have a failure after V1, only in the most exceptional, catastrophic situation would you decide to reject. Basically, if you reject above V1, you're in the mindset that had you attempted to take off, the aircraft wouldn't have taken off, or you would have crashed soon after. So, yeah, I can't think of any situation in reality where that decision's been made, and the problem is there are countless incidents and accidents where crew have well, I say countless. In the events where crew have rejected above V1, it's not ended pretty. Overruns, death from evacuations, and all this sort of stuff. There's a lot of cases there. So yeah, it's V1 is you're going pretty much everything like that. There was a case, I think it was a 747 crew years ago. They decided to reject above V1. I mean, if you're field length limited and you reject a V1, you've got to do everything perfectly. So for the 737, firstly, brake first, wheel brakes, what's going to stop you first, then speed brake, then reverse thrust, and you've got to do that very properly. If you have any hesitation or delay it, you're off the end of the runway on field length limited. So yeah, you're going at V1 essentially is the answer. But good, great question. Brutal ADR, I would like to see a Fokker being controlled by a 737 captain. I think just like making a Fokker for Microsoft Flight Simulator as well. A really old school one. We've not flown a Fokker. Actually, I forget which flight it was that the PIC rejected takeoff after V1 because it would not rotate. Mental covered it. Oh really? Oh yeah. If you rotate, nothing's going up, then fair enough. That'd probably be a decent reason to reject. But I don't know what the reason for that was behind that though. Yeah, that's pretty nasty. There are ways in which you can operate the aircraft in the 737 if you have an elevator failure. There's actually some limited guidance in the flight crew training manual. It talks about catastrophic issues or flight control issues as well. So you can control the aircraft pitch using stabilizer trim. It's difficult. Thrust, if you add thrust, the aircraft will climb. Reduce thrust and descend with the thrust pitch coupled. The thrust is below the centre of gravity, so there's a positive pitch couple with that. But yeah, elevator, you're more likely to fail. Ouch. They should make runways longer. No, true, Chris, but unfortunately it's not that sort of flexibility with a lot of the airports where they build them and stuff to have long runways. Mike, you're landing, you go into a flock of birds. Do you go around or land? Very, very good question again, Mike Searle. Now, what do you reckon, guys? Should we poll this? It's 18:02. I'll poll this. Great question. So, I'll let you guys have a think. If you fly for a flock of birds on final approach, short final, if you fly through a flock of birds on final, and you know you're going to hit them, you're going for a flock of birds, you know you're going to hit them, do you go around or do you continue to land? So let me pull this. We'll do it. We'll leave it for a short while. Great question. So the poll's coming up. That should get pinned. We'll leave that for until 5. We'll give you 3 or 4 minutes to answer that one. Fantastic question. Fantastic question. Attitudes over this have changed over the years as well. Ah, you guys are some crackers, and that's why I love this. You ask some questions, makes you think about the topic. And, I'll finish the stream and I'll think, oh yeah, that's great, and I can review the procedure myself. It's brilliant, really good. Directive, the Concorde is landing at Keflavik, such a long haul. Yeah, is that the guy that took off first? Is he actually going to Keflavik? Yeah, it will be. Definitely be in December now. Amazing. Luke, what's the difference between allowable takeoff weight and max gross takeoff weight? It's a terminology we don't use. Your max, you have several maximum takeoff weights. Essentially, you have your certified maximum takeoff weights, and then you have your RTOW weight, which is your different airlines do use different terminology. But this is the maximum weight you can lift based off several conditions: the length of the runway, your obstacle performance, or ability to clear obstacles and terrain after departure in the event of an engine failure, tyre speeds, loads of stuff takes into account, and the OPT will generate what is your maximum allowed takeoff weight based on all this information. So what's the poll saying here? 80% land, 20% go around. Interesting, interesting. The answer is it depends. Potentially, Lauren, potentially. Bruce, off topic question, but related with aviation. Does someone know some online airline management games? Oh my goodness, I don't know. There's some airport simulators, which I've had a look at, but I haven't really got around to playing any of them. There's all sorts out there. Robert S, how often do you have APU in op? Once a year, twice maybe, really depends. My operator has a really good we call hill ratio or record. They want to keep the aircraft fully serviced at all times. One of the things that if they see as an operative they want to fix ASAP is APU in op, because to the operation it's a lot of additional work for the pilots, for the ground crew. You know, we've got to do cross-bleed starts on the engine, increases turnaround time. In the summer, we can't condition the cabin on the ground. So yeah, I've had one before. Well, I had it a few times, but usually I've flown the same aircraft a few times in the week, and it's usually fixed after a couple of days. They want to get it fixed as soon as possible. So let's have a look at this poll. So, if you fly for a flock of birds on final, do you go around or land? 20% said go around, 80% said land. So, we always talk about how a go around is always the best option. If you talk about how, if you feel like the approach is not going well, go around. We always fly approaches to go around, a landing is a bonus, we say. But I am pleased to say the majority of you are correct. What should you do if you feel like you're going to be flying for a flock of birds on short final? The advice, the recommendation, is to continue the approach to land. Okay, now the reason that is, if you decide to go around, okay, you are increasing thrust on the engines. Okay, so adding more power increases the chance of damage, essentially. So you have go around thrust sets, higher temperatures, more likely with the greater engine thrust that there'll be a greater amount of damage caused by ingesting those birds. So it is advised that you continue the approach to land, fly through the flock of birds, and continue there. Now, at the end of the day, you've got to make that decision there with regards to what to do. But if you're quite high, or if you can see the birds, or maybe if you're at 2,000 feet tower, say there's a huge flock of birds on approach, you could potentially go around there. But if you see the birds, it's best to continue the approach there. The engines are very robust. They can ingest quite a lot of crap before they have issues, but if you have a higher thrust setting, they're more likely to be damaged in the event of a go around. Now, a well-known incident is there's a Ryanair aircraft in Rome, Ciampino, where the crew flew through a flock of birds, and I think initially, this was years ago, before there was much guidance on this, they decided to go around, but they ingested all of them. They did an amazing job. That both the engines, very similar to what happened in America with Sully, but both of those engines got damaged, and they then had to land, and they managed to land in Rome. It was Ciampino, it was. So yeah, a lot of the industry thoughts on this have changed over the years with regards to what to do. Now, you saw with Sully, takeoff power, climb thrust, ingested these, was it Canadian geese or something? Huge birds. Welcome. There's not much you could do. But yeah, continued approach is There you go, you learned something. Exactly. Thanks for subscribing as well, Hafiz. Welcome aboard. Oh, you like the polls? Yeah, we'll do some more of that. Fantastic question. And one to think about. But yeah, you see a flock of birds on final approach. We continue the approach. Sean, have you ever done a passenger announcement to ATC by accident? Seen a few on YouTube lately. No comment. I am. Could you do more polls? Yes. Lauren, Canada geese. Sorry, not Canadian. Canada geese. Sorry. Robert, what would you say is a common bug or feature on the 738? Were you talking about the real one? A bug? Oh yeah, it's not really bugs. It's a very reliable bit of kit, but VNav sometimes can not exactly work. It's uncommon. I'd say probably once a month you'll be flying a non-precision approach or using VNav, especially approaching decel points. If you're approaching 10,000 feet and it's going a bit fast, it can just get VNav disconnects and things which it shouldn't disconnect. We're still within tolerable limits, so you can just re-engage and it works. So VNav can sometimes be a little funky, but very rarely. I've had it quit altogether on me once, and we lost it, and we got the message in the scratch pads, verify gross weight, I think it was, and you had to reinsert the cost index, which didn't know at the time. But we ended up having to fly a non-precision approaching vertical speed because of it. But yeah, they do work that. No comment equals yes. And embarrassingly, guys, would you like to know when I did my first ever PA to air traffic control? Have a guess on what flight it was. My first ever PA to air traffic control. I got some very funny comments from ATC and the other pilots on frequency. They applauded my PA. They said it was excellent. I've never done it again though. Nearly Fabi Hansi, first captain flight. It was actually my command upgrade check ride. So it's the day you get assessed to become a captain. It was on my last sector, and what I did on the 737, on the pedestal, we have a PA here, and this is the PA we use to talk to the passengers, and it was plugged in there. We have a second hand mic located here, which you can use, but when you transmit on that, it transmits to whatever you have selected on the pedestal. Of course, it's selected to VHF1. Now, what I was doing, I think I was using the hand mic, that was it, to talk to ATC at some point, because sometimes ATC can talk to you very quickly, or they ask you something, and it's because you haven't got your headset on. The only way to talk to them is with the hand mic, so I grabbed that, and I think someone requested something to me, and I just grabbed the hand mic because my headset's hung up here on the ground, so you don't wear it during the turnaround. So I grabbed the hand mic, and then it was in my hand, and then I did the PA, and because I was still holding the identical hand mic, I just did the PA there. And thankfully, I'd done 4 sectors, and the command upgrade check was going very well, and the captain, he knew I was doing it, but he didn't stop me, he let me finish. The command upgrade line check, it's very, very formal. There's only a few people in the company can do it, and yeah, it was a nice day, and everything was going well. The weather hadn't been on my side, I had lots of operational issues to deal with, but you know, you just take your time, don't rush, that's the key thing. And I finished it. He just had that smirky smile on him. He said, "Nice PA." And I was in Holland. And Dutch are a funny lot, so I had all these Dutch people going on frequency. So yeah, very embarrassing. I went. Have you ever watched Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? You know when that young girl eats that sweet, she goes bright purple. I think my face was a similar colour. It's a dark black currant. Oh, I can feel the blood rushing to my head afterwards. It happens, and I can swear to you that everyone will do it at least once in their career, and that's my one and only time. Not bad, once in 10 years. I've flown with skippers who have done it on frequency as well. They get a lot of banter afterwards. Anyway, guys, we're approaching top of ascent shortly. Approaching Ratsu. Let's just do a quick fuel check and time check here at Ratsu. Right on the corner of oceanic airspace. Top of descent. 358. There's 1852. Yeah, we're just starting our descent there. So it's about 40 minutes away. Let's do our check at Ratsu, and I'll just have a quick break, guys, and I'll be back and start setting up for the approach. is our operational flight plan. There we are, Ratsu 5 miles. So we should be there in 1 hour 10 minutes. It's 1 hour 11, so time's pretty much spot on.
Minimums. Approaching.
We should have burned 6.8 tonnes of fuel. We burned 6.3, so we've saved about 500 kilos. 12 full, but we took a little bit extra, 15.6 on board. Loads of gas. Looking all good on the operational flight plan. Wojtek, thanks for 3 months as a member. Appreciate it, buddy. Stories are the best part. Thank you very much. Oh, I've got plenty of stories to tell you. Some I wouldn't want to share, but I'm happy to share one occasionally from time to time. Appreciate it, buddy. Thanks for the continued support. Everyone is now knowing Flight Sim talking on frequency nowadays. Unbelievable. Oh yes, 5 more likes. Look, we're going for 310 likes. And we've got 305 at the moment. Well, when I come back from my break, hopefully we'll have 310. I've got to get a like for the lovely stories, I say, hey. Wicked guys, I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Enjoy the sunset, and see you all shortly. Thank you. Thanks for that, guys. Jack's just discovered a toy that I got him years ago. It's so funny. I'm just going to try and grab it. Just grab this toy he has. Listen to this. Can you hear that? He's going crazy. He tries to wheel it around, it just goes. Get it in. Figures it's too big, he can't get it in his mouth. God, this would be great for Yo Cam. Good boy, go on then. Just a big kid. Excellent. How are we progressing anyway? There we are. All on our lonesome. Am I still on VATSIM? I think there's enough separation between all of us though. Nope, still on VATSIM. Don't know if we'll get anything later. No Jack cam today, Laurent. Webcam's not even plugged in. Good boy. On your bed then. On your bed. Good boy. Lay down. Sit. Good boy. Leave it. Good boy. Robert, are you one of the youngest captains of your airline as you got your upgrade? Yeah, I'm in my early 30s. There's a number of us. In Europe it's a little bit different to America, so I think in America, I mean, I don't know, airlines like Southwest and stuff, I know you need your 1500 hours, don't you, before you can step foot in a commercial jet airliner, but in Europe, you can finish flight training school with 200 hours, get a right-hand seat job here. I had about 3,500 hours when I became a skipper. Minimum is about 3,000. And I think the earliest you could potentially be if you joined when you were 21. Yeah, 26. Well, we got to 26, 27-year-old captains. So not the youngest, but yeah. I've got a lot to learn still as well. You never stop learning. I know it sounds a bit, oh, why don't you know everything? But you never stop learning as a pilot. Things turn up every day which you've never seen before. And it's, yeah, you just got to be adaptive. Make sure you know your ops manual, follow the rules, SOPs, be safe. That's the main thing at all times. Excellent. TKC, what do you use for your clouds? Enhanced skyscapes. Lisbon's got you covered. There you go. Worthwhile add-on for Expo, if you ask me. Just a little cabin tour. I like what Mo has done here. I mean, it's nice to see the iniBuilds A310 modelling anyway, because it is very nice. The quality is superb. Cockpit all day. Let's have a little look around the aircraft. So this is the Alpaca Airways A310. We'll leave there. There's the restroom. I don't know if that's modelled, but oh, it is actually. Can you actually open the toilet door? I can't remember. Oh yes, I've smashed my head into it. There you are. Don't drop random objects down the bog. Seems to be a back of a headrest in the mirror though, but there is the toilet. Always got to check the toilet on your models. There is your flight sim Alpaca Airways with some of my favourite phrases and sayings. Top % in chat, butter, test sector, check, close hold, just testing you. There's Jack, unbelievable. I hate Airbus, Pro Streamer. No words. Through the curtain we go into premium economy. There we are. There's all the flight information. Minus 56 degrees outside, 1824 Zulu. We are live time in the A310-300. Airborne for 1 hour 20 minutes, 330 miles to our destination. ETA is 1917 Zulu. Very nice. Excellent. He has the most hair though for a captain. No comments. Unbelievable, Tim. What field of view do you use? Matt 628HA 105 is my field of view I use. Explain. TKC, what's your favourite aircraft that's not a 737? Well, so many. Love Concorde, Spitfire, classic aircraft like that. The Mosquito is probably one of my favourite aircraft. I wouldn't wonder. Love to see one of those fly. I think there's one flying in the US and someone's restoring one in Europe, which is pretty cool. Here's economy. We have the 333 layout at Alpaca Airways. Get more seating information with the Flight Sim logo headrest. Here's a view out the window. Look at the size of this engine. Absolutely crazy. Back back we go. Have you flown the Max in real life? Said Frederick. I am yet to fly a Max. Getting them in the fleet, but I don't have any. I haven't operated on one yet. I really will. Hopefully, I will be this year. I'm looking forward to it as well. I've spoken to colleagues and friends who have flown it, and they really do enjoy flying it. So it's quite interesting. You can see how the fuselage sort of tapers in, and it goes from 333 to 232 at the rear, which is pretty cool. And then the seats get closer and closer together. That's really cool. Be a lot louder having it around you, but I have got the sounds cranked down slightly. That's what it looks like at the back of the A310. You can get your head out as far as that. You can see the contrails. Look at how it goes down like that as well. See how the fuselage is sloping down. It's really cool. And there we are, right at the back. Beggar. TKC, do you fly for TUI? I don't disclose which operator I fly for, so I just wish to keep to myself. Thank you very much for your understanding. My operator does know about my channel. They give me full permission to stream, which I'm very grateful for. I just wish not to disclose. Thank you. Big old emergency exit. Very nice. What time does the sun set in Keflavik? Because we are chasing the sun. I think it would have set, or has already set, in Iceland. Nights are really drawing out now. It's lovely. I'll be putting my shorts on soon. Yeah, it's not a very long aircraft, is it? I love the iniBuilds smashing door sounds. It's like when you fly the Beluga, it shuts all the doors, they go clunk. Excellent. Mike, have you been in a Concorde? I have. I've been in the one in Duxford. That's the only one I've been in. And also the one... No. Let me get this right. Is there one in Seattle? The Museum of Flight? I can't remember. I have been in the second one. Was it there on New York? Really can't remember. Galami, do you operate by the Max recently? Are you already rated to fly them? Yes, we have Maxes, and I've done the conversion course on the sim, but I'm yet to fly one. 1931 Zulu, but sunsets. Oh, okay. Might be okay then. 1931, 1917. Oh, wicked! Sunset flight. We'll be landing southerly. So at least we'll be in our eyes. Oh, perfect timing then. Seattle has one, so I think I think I might have been to three. Been the one in Duxford. Definitely seen the one in New York. Can't remember if I went in Seattle. I went in one of them, not both, but I've seen both. Bjorn, what's your favourite airplane meal? And you later said mine is crisps and wine. Well, I can't have the latter. I do like crisps though. At work, I often drink ginger ale. You know, they come in those little cans. And a few months ago, I had one of these ginger ales, and I cracked it open. I said to the first officer, I'm just having a gin and tonic. And he looked at me, he actually honestly believed me. He said, really? I was like, no, it's not. I'm just winding you up. It's a ginger ale. They come in the same little identical cans. But it's tonic water, just going to crack out the gin as well. Good boy. Why are you... Uh-oh. Oh, is that because you've been lying on the grass outside? His belly's wet. He's toilet trained, Jack, but... You alright? Come here. Why you went there? No, it's just a bit of... I think you were lying on the grass outside when I just took you, weren't you? Alright. Go on then. On your bed. Lay down, please. Lay down. I know. He just wants attention now. Go on. Lay down. On your bed. On your bed. Come on your bed. Good boy. Watch your toes. I want to run them over with my chair. Good boy. No, go brown. No, I haven't had to worry that since he was a puppy. TKC, are you nervous to fly the Max knowing what happened? Even it's possibly the safest aircraft in the world. I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head there in the latter part. This has been the most stress-tested aircraft since all the incidents, so I have absolutely no problem flying that aircraft now. It's been tried and tested to the limits since then, and there's been a lot of changes made. So yeah, very much looking forward to flying it. Who's the alpha boss of the household? Me, Robert. Absolutely, Jack knows it. Excellent. I'm at Ams. If the sun hasn't set where you are, it definitely hasn't set to your west. It has set here. It's dark outside, but it's not always north or west, east and west though. I'm at Ams. The further north you go, the more daylight you get in the summer. Remember? So don't you? With the lost emoji as well, I'm at Ams. Very cheeky, but you are right. East and west is where the sun is. But if you go north, the sun in the UK, well, it's dark outside looking out the window here, and obviously we are flying further west, but we are far further north. More sunlight in the summer. Jack Daniels camp, brilliant. Oh, I'm going to have a tipple of rum tonight. It's my first day off. Not a big fan of whiskey yet, Robert. I prefer, rum and sweeter drinks like that. Whiskey, I have a little bit occasionally, but I think when I get older I'll definitely like it. TKC went on a max 4 weeks ago from Stanton. Very cool. Very cool.
50, 40, 30, 20.
Thank you
10.
very much, Ethan Cole, for the $10. Very generous, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon from Chicago to the best 737 pilot.
No, not
I
hardly.
love when I'm able to catch your streams live. I would love to see you fly World War II era planes like the Curtiss Commando C-46, etc.
Very cool. Thank you very much, Ethan Cole, coming in from the Windy City. Thanks for the $10. Hope your afternoon is going very well. Or evening, or morning perhaps. Not sure. Morning maybe. We were in Chicago last stream. Appreciate the generosity. Yes. Well, good news. We were just talking about it earlier, Ethan. Wing 42 are making, or are soon to release their Boeing 247. So that would be very much up your street. We've flown the DC-3 before, obviously DC-6 by PMDG as well. Love flying that old school stuff and doing some old school navigation. So yeah, I think the next aircraft, or old school aircraft flying, will be the 247, and I think you'll enjoy that. So I'll bear that in mind, and with you in mind as well. I hope you can catch that live. Take care, buddy. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Nightbot, as well, for reminding me and all of you here. Reason we're flying to Keflavik today is Xometry have just released, well, it was going to be released on the stream, but because I was delayed by 2 days, it has now been released for you to purchase. A high detailed rendition of Keflavik. It's about time, because Iceland in X-Plane hasn't had much love, really, and I think this is the first pay-wear quality airport that's been released. I've used a number of Xometry sceneries now, very nice. They're very kindly given me a copy to give away after landing too. So once we've landed, we'll do the stream as usual, get on stand, go back to daylight hours, and we'll have a good look around the scenery, talk about all those features, and then we'll do a giveaway as well. It is available for now to purchase for $17.99 in the iniBuilds store as well. Now, I don't know about this, if it's still running. It was certainly running when I was planning on streaming, but if you do purchase the Xometry scenery for Keflavik, you do get 15% off their other products. I don't know if this is still running. iniBuilds are also doing a promotion to celebrate the launch of Keflavik. You can get 20% off the Beluga if you use the discount code Bravo India Kilo Foxtrot Beluga in chat, but you can get the information on the store. It might have finished, guys. This was what they were running on release at the weekend, but as I said, this stream had to be postponed because I was called lost. Sweet. Thanks for subscribing, Carl Peter Kern. Welcome aboard, buddy. Lay down. Good boy. He's trying to jump on my lap. Tango Delta, are there any pet peeves you have arriving at the aircraft prior to starting your day? Transponder not set to 2000, volume knobs not rotated to the 12 o'clock position. Well, transponder set to 2000, that's sort of SOP, so I've never not seen a transponder set to 2000. Volume knobs not rotated to 12 o'clock position, that doesn't really bother me. I just usually, some people like to turn them all off and turn them down. Some people like myself just leave it as it is because it's usually set to where you want it. So you've got VHF1, service if you want to talk to cabin crew, PA, whatever, as well. But no, I just usually leave it set as is. Doesn't bother me that much. maybe if a bit more OCD it would, but no, not an issue for me. But yeah, our SOP is set 2000, so it's part of the checklist. We check after shut down the transponders set to 2000 and on standby, so it's always set like that. Conquest Media, you seem to be losing altitude there. Yes, this is just a basic altitude, which goes up and down based off your barometric altitude. We've set standard here. Chris Curtin, more likes than viewers. I don't often see that. Well, the stream, you imagine, is now going for 2.5 hours. People come and go, so some people have obviously come to the stream, liked it, they've had to go. That's often what happens there. So we do sometimes see we get a few more likes than viewers as well. We've had steadily, on Takeoff, I can always see this, which is quite cool. We had 430 people watching on Takeoff, so in that case, it usually increases a little bit when we're on the bridge. Anyway, we best start thinking about the approach into Keflavik. Ooh, we have AATIS here as well. So, now I'm on VATSIM. One of you might be able to answer me here. If I go here, I know I can get the METAR, but if I go AATIS, does this actually fetch it off VATSIM for you? If I put the code in. Unfortunately, no CPDLC today. Keflavik information 1837. So this is actually the AATIS. Let's print that. So this is from VATSIM. So a little read of that. 801800, so 37 minutes ago. Runway 19 in use. Expect ILS or IMP approach 19 condition reported 1942. Runway condition code 333. That's not great. 333. Actually, can I get GRF up for you guys on a web page? Global reporting format 333. We can land on 3 or 2. So basically, that is a contaminated runway.
Minimums. Approaching minimums.
Runway condition code 333, 100%, 6mm dry snow. So 6mm dry snow isn't actually too bad at braking action. 3 is okay. We will be able to land here. It's all legal and safe. Andre Bjorn, thanks for the 15 months. Currently doing my VATSIM tower training in Bravo and Kilo Foxtrot. Shame I haven't been able to complete it before the stream. Oh, well, thank you very much, Andre. Shame, yeah, if you'd done it, you'd have been able to provide ATC today. But we'll visit again. Good luck with the rest of your VATSIM training. And thank you very much for the offer, I guess, of ATC. Best of luck with the rest of it. Very good. Cheers. Alex Jones, clouds seem very high. Yeah, that's an enhanced skyscapes thing. They always seem to generate the clouds really high. Yeah, that's enhanced skyscapes. So yeah, GRF. Code is 0 and 1. We can't land on a mile per operator. 6 is dry. 5 is wet. 4 and 3 is contamination. But 100% 6mm dry snow. We'd use a table to work out what our braking action is. So let me just get my operator's table out. I can't show you this, unfortunately, but I'll get the form, and I can tell you what braking action this would be. So GRF. Let me try and find the form. Checklists. There we are. Oh, where's that gone? They've changed it slightly on the OPT that I can't actually remember. To find that thing. Operational. There we are, I found it. Runway surface condition. My hold on, my OPT has gone a bit funny. So basically, I've got the correct thing up, but it's brought up the wrong document. Let me just reset the app. Yeah, something's got a miss there. So, maybe throw out some snow chains. Unbelievable. Right, found it. So, I'm looking at something called the Runway Surface Condition Performance Assessment Table. You might be able to get this online. It's a standard document between all different airlines. And we have 100% contamination, so it's the whole airport. 333, so stop end, mid end, and 6mm of dry snow. So dry snow, any depth, maximum depth permitted is 100mm, greater than 3mm. It's GRF coded 3, and the braking action is medium. So that, with medium on the length of runway we have today, it's fine. Now, one thing you've got to bear in mind is that limits, your crosswind limit gets reduced. So my operator, we have a 33 knot crosswind limit for dry and wet runway, and also on a good to medium braking action. But to medium, the crosswind limit's reduced to 25 knots. Something to bear in mind. But braking action is medium. That's fine. We can land on 6mm dry snow. All taxiways are poor, so we can, if the taxiways reported to port, got to double check if it's, what is the situation, you know, is it clear? Wouldn't be too happy taxiing on poor. I'll get clarification about if we could do it or not. All aprons poor, transition level 80, weather at 1800, surface wind 220 at 23 knots. Okay, so it's down the runway, less than 25 knot max crosswind limit. 10k, few CBs around, scattered clouds. Why is it not in numbers? I hate it in text. 5,000 feet, temperature -1, dew point -3, QNH is 9 at 82, and it's information echo. So there we are, contaminated runway, braking actions medium. How that's simulated in a sim, who knows? And explain it can be a bit funky sometimes with that. On a wet runway it can be very slippy sometimes. So we'll use reverse thrust until stopping is assured. So we've got the weather, descent preparation then, and we've got the ATIS, runway 19, let's grab the charts. Listen, ATC VAT sim is text because it has to be read by, yeah, text to speech, yeah, I understand. So arrival expecting is an arson 2 kilo. Now, I don't actually have any ortho for Iceland because it's all flat, so it's just default scenery. But there is some ortho and photo scenery around the airport, which is all we'll need today with this light. That's the star selected. Approach will be ILS Zulu 19. Grab an airport chart. Parking stand chart as well. So, starting on our arrival then at is it Azrin and Arson? I can't remember. It is an Azrin, not an Arson. Azrin arrival. No restrictions there. We're going to Kilo Foxtrot 156. Have I not selected the arrival? Must have done. No. Missing some points here, so this is definitely on our arrival. So just double check to make sure I've selected this correctly because I can't see this here. So runway 19 star. I didn't select the star, only the transition. So it is the Arson. There's 2 arrivals. Is it what? Azrin. It is Azrin. I've just wrote it down wrong on my piece of paper. Azrin 2 kilo. So Azrin 2 kilo. Insert. Let's check that now. So for after Azrin, it's direct to Kilo Foxtrot 156. If I remember, I just made clear. There we are. Azrin, Kilo Fox 156, 150 above. We're going to be at 161. That's fine. Ravla 110 above, 113. Great. KF 158, 100 above. That restriction's in the FMC. 10,000. What is the transition level? It was 80, wasn't it? By ATC. 7,000 feet by Kilo Fox 159. 70, 155. 4,500 will be at 52. And then to Elva Max 220 knots. 220. 3,000 feet above checks as well, and 3,890. So it's coded all correctly above the restrictions, and speed restrictions in there as well. Loss of RNAV on capability, let ATC know. Vectoring might be used. Non-RNAV aircraft advise ATC. So that's all there. And the FMS will check the routing as well. Onto the ILS then. Frequency is 110.3, so we need to come down here. All up there. 110.3 is set. Inbound course 1904. 1904, and we'll go via Eltham to Kilo Foxtrot 1 or India 192690, and then on to Nomta. Nomta's at 5 miles, same 160, that's fine. Down, go on the ILS, 3 degrees, checks in the box as well. Minimums. Now, we Cat D in this, or Cat C? I'll go Cat D, there's 2 foot difference, no difference whatsoever, but I'm guessing this is Cat D, 363. So, to get the minimums call, if I remember rightly, do I set it here? It's been a while since I've set this, or was it in the FMS? Decision height, oh no, of course, it's there. Now, decision height is usually associated with Autoland, but just to make sure that I get the correct minimums call, I will set this to 05. That's based off a radio altimeter, and that's 202, so that's fine. I think you can set something in here if I remember rightly. Yeah, MTA, let's put 363 in there. There we go. Flap, we'll use full flap 30 and 40, and if we have to go around ground procedure, look here, the checklist is a little bit different. Landing technique, go around. So in the A310 it's go around flaps, press the go around button, which is the screw, thrust levers advance to go around, thrust rotate smoothly, retract flaps. It's an Airbus. I remember doing it on the A340 in practice when it was easy. Just put it in climb, didn't have to do anything else. Select the roll loads. So missed approaches, just climb on heading 3000 feet and expect vectors. MSA 4000. Happy days. Oh, we had a bot chat, did we? Sorry chat. You know when I'm briefing I do neglect you slightly, but I'll catch up shortly. So happy with the approach vectors or alpha transition. Got everything set up that we need to have set up in the FMS. Just need to be landing performance now. I think with the calculator have the option to select the braking action, so maybe we have to select medium, which we confirmed on the global reporting format, but it is medium. Why is that doing external view? It should be YFB. There we are. So let's go to landing performance, BIKF, runway 19er. So let's grab the 80s. Let's reach top of descent, we're getting there, very close now. Should just finish my briefing as soon as we get there, just over 25 miles. There are, so 0, 983 was the QNH, 982, so it has increased slightly. So, braking action, interesting, slush or snow, snow, not much option, so it's a bit limited. You'd usually put the contamination, well you'd have a braking action, you don't even put the contamination time. Let's see what it is on snow. Landing weight, let's have a look here. 115.8, traffic automatically calculates for you. Quite interesting to see what it says. It will be a lot worse, I think, than actually what we'll get. 30-40, let's try medium, reverse, full. Oh no, didn't want to request it, it's due to compute. They are fluffy clouds. There we are. Let's compute that. See what it says with just snow. Okay, fine. Landing distance available. We're 19er. It's 3,054 meters. So the displace threshold. There's no displace threshold. Will be slightly less. Let's just grab the. Do you know which one is it on JB charts? Is it this? No, it's not the briefing one. No, that's Takeoff. There we are. Beyond glide, so 2,700 meters available, and this is saying stop in snow with reverse thrust. We're gonna have no problems. Factor by 0.15, same as we have. So factor distance is 1,463 meters, using half the runway. We're braking in medium. So halfway down the runway, that'll take us. Yeah, we can vacate at Sierra 2. Go up there. Yeah, Sierra 2, we should be fine based on what the calculator says. So, that's all calculated. Order brake to medium is selected. We'll select full reverse thrust as well. So, we discussed the arrival, we discussed the ILS, we discussed the approach, we discussed the go around, we've done the performance. We're all ready to go. And we've got ATC for the approach as well. Superb. We then complete the descent checklist. And I'll leave that up there because it has the latest weather conditions. and we're all good to go. Martina, is the EFB included in the iniBuilds A310? Yes, it is. It's a really comprehensive product, very well modelled, and a lot of gems hidden inside. They have a very they got a great website, Discord, they're very active, their own Discord channel, but check out their YouTube videos as well. It'll give you an idea of what you get with the aircraft as well. It's one of my favourite paywares. TKC, if I get enhanced skyscapes and use default live weather for X-Plane, will I see the clouds for enhanced skyscapes? You will. My suggestion would be to ditch the default weather in X-Plane 11, because the weather engine's not the best, especially the way it has variable winds and gusts. We'll descend now as well, guys, because we're approaching top descent. The top descent's a chance. So I'd highly recommend Active Sky. It's a lot more realistic in regards to the weather engine and plugging in the correct weather based off the data. So let's be safe. We're going to set 150, and I think if I select profile, it will start the descent now, and it won't go below that restriction at Kilo Foxtrot 156 that way. And I think we just hit the profile now. And as we're entering cloud in descent, operator, we turn engine NTI on. How are you? And the 310. There we are. Perfect. There's another plane on us, isn't there? Oh no, there's a good gap here. It's Thompson's aircraft carriers. Oh, look at this time for the approach as well. Sun is setting. It's been perfect. Ah, were you referring to that contrail? Sometimes X-Plane has like a... It's not another aircraft, it's like a fake contrail, but it would be really cool if X-Plane generated contrails for aircraft on FatSim or other aircraft. Does Microsoft Flight Simulator do that? Pretty cool if it does. TKC, where do I get anti-sky from? I don't want to buy something else. Welcome to Flight Simming. Yeah, for me, the bare essentials in X-Plane itself, Active Sky. Well, I'll show you. Most of the plugins I have are completely free, but this is everything I have in my X-Plane to make it as realistic as possible for myself. Microsoft Flight Sim does now. That's pretty cool. So there you go, that's my X-Plane plugins I have. So better pushback free, Avitab free, terrain radar free, Active Sky do need to pay for, but it's absolutely a must. Headshake free, XRAS free, landing rate free, volume control for streaming is free, X checklist is free, Fly Blue is free, Fly Live is free, and Enhanced Skyscapes are the only two paywares you need for the sim. So Active Sky, Enhanced Skyscapes, basically what makes the weather, and everything else is already pretty good in X-Plane 11 as the core simulator goes. There we are, so we're in profile mode. Remember profile mode in the A300, it ain't no VNAV in a 737, it's a very simple system. Wasn't often used by a number of A300 and A310 operators, so very much keep an eye on it. Do your distance height cross checks for your profile. So distance to run, where do you find that? Is it progress page? 114 miles, we're about 31,000 feet, makes sense, so that looks good. There's a typo in Skyscapes. Uh-oh, I'll have to change that at the end of the stream. What did I put on the plugins? I mean, Nightbot, come on. Skycapes. Robert S. been ditching in the mashed potato. Doesn't look like flying in mashed, doesn't it? Brilliant. Well, into IMC we go. Yeah, if you had clouds up at this height, it'd probably be CBs or something, especially with this sort of, like, thickness. It's very dark in the cockpit as well at this sort of time when you descend into the cloud. You turn all the lighting down. So engine anti-ice is on. Loads of gas. Remember, we took enough fuel to get back to Aberdeen. The contrails seem to be going slow motion out of the aircraft. Only thing with hard skyscapes, if you're looking towards the sun, you get this weird graining effect sometimes. Ah, contact B approach. There we are. And who are we calling? It's just Keflavik approach. Keflavik approach. Very good evening, Alpaca 31 Kilo Foxtrot in descent. We're going down to 150 for now on the Azrun 2 Kilo. Quite.
Alpaca 31 Kilo Foxtrot, Keflavik approach. Good day, identified. Expect ILS Zulu approach runway 19er and report passing altitude.
Expecting ILS Zulu 19er, passing flight level 270, Alpaca 31 Kilo Foxtrot.
Alpaca 31 Kilo Foxtrot, roger that. Descend flight level 150 for now.
Descend flight level 150, Alpaca 31 Kilo Foxtrot. Perfect. There we are, so coming up the bottom of the clouds. This looks great. Amazing. Robert, do you know that V1 still loves active skies clouds? Yeah, the textures on there, Robert, are quite nice. And actually, in IMC, in low visibility, active sky doesn't do a good job with fog at the moment. The thing is, you very rarely fly in those situations anyway, so for me, these clouds look so much better.
Speed, I'm currently 290 knots, Tomjet 390.
Yeah, weather ahead, or it might be a bit of ground clutter.
Maintain 250 knots or greater.
50 or greater, thanks, Tomjet 390.
Well, that just looks like
Alpaca
a
22 Golf, speed 250 knots or less.
250 knots or less, Alpaca Golf, maintaining 1.
So it looks like we're still in profile mode, but the profile's escaped away from us. So 800 feet off it, we'll just keep a close eye on it at the moment. It's just maintaining about 290-ish, not 295 knots. Getting 1624, we're at the right height. Martinez was flying back to me the other day, flew to Prague. When the Prague approach controller contacted me, he had such a heavy accent I couldn't understand a thing. Martina, that's common in real life as well, especially in certain countries. Spain, with their training, you can sometimes have very thick accent in the Spanish controllers, and you do have to ask a couple of times, could you say that again? I respect as well if you're a non-native English speaker, say you're Spanish, and you're trying to listen to someone from the Czech speaking English that's not their language. It can sound a bit, it can be difficult to understand as well. More drag, 920 feet, a little bit higher then. Well, keep an eye on it, so we can make the restrictions. I'm just going to go level change. I'm not under any speed restrictions, so I'll just bug 310, how fitting. Then just use the increased speed to descend back onto profile instead of using speed brake for now. Ah, bits of Iceland are in view. Wonderful, look at this. Timothy, good luck with your MEP IR in a few weeks. Any advice? Relax, enjoy. I know it's a very stressful time. It's been a long time since I've done mine, 12 years. And you'll be absolutely fine. Best of luck.
Right at 040,
So 75.
Speedbird 67 heavy established ILS,
So a little bit high.
Speedbird 67, contact tower 118.3.
Keep an eye on that. The 20, 40, 60 track miles for 75, so I'm not so sure about the VNAV here. Remember, it's something that's not already accurate in this aircraft, so I'm just going to go worry a little less about the profile.
Alpaca 31 Kilo Foxtrot, descend flight level 100.
Descend flight level 100, down Alpaca 31 Kilo Foxtrot. There we are, 100 is set. And just be careful with this, you want to make sure you don't bust any restrictions here. as well. So we've got 100 set. I'm slowing down slightly.
0, speed 230 knots.
Should be fine. 4,000 feet above him.
230 knots for glider, Tomjet 390.
Bit of weather. Not sure if that's ground glass or weather. No, it is actually a bit of rain.
Tomjet 390, descend altitude 3,000 feet.
3000, Tomjet 390.
That's better. 6, 5, 18. Good. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Anon, does the 310 landing mean we're going for the 31 feet per minute to continue the trend? I don't think I'll ever pull that up again. If you missed it, guys, last time I flew the 757, our landing rate was 75.7. I don't think that'll ever happen again. Even if I tried 100 landings. Robert S, I love how Dutch say Schiphol. Schiphol! Smoking a pancake. Yeah, Dutch accent's not a strong point, guys. Or 310, yeah, that's more likely. Pete got it right. Yeah, exactly what Listerman agreed to, and Robert. Unbelievable. No, actually, Robert agreed with Anon. Thanks. Right, 150 above next restriction. Well, we only cleared down to 150, so we'll have to level off there. We believe in you, boss. I'll see.
Alpaca 22 Golf, descend altitude 5,000 feet.
5,000 feet for Alpaca 2
Do we?
Golf.
That's it. I always over that one.
Alpaca 22 Golf, turn left heading 335.
Left 335,
So latest one in Keflavik. Yeah, well, it's died down loads. 190.15 now. Oh, luck is on my side. Approaching 1 to go. Vertical speed 1,000 feet per minute. Just bring the speed back slightly.
Tomjet 390, I forgot to update my TAC. Did I clear you for the approach?
Negative, Tomjet 390.
Thought so. Tomjet 390 via Elvam, cleared out at Zulu approach, runway 19, report established.
Hi, Elvam, cleared.
Agent, did I pick up an Austin Powers reference there? Maybe. Brilliant. I've watched all of them several times. Alpaca 3-1 Kilo Foxtrot, request further descent.
Alpaca 3-1 Kilo Foxtrot, descend altitude 7,000 feet, QNH 983.
Descend 7,000 feet, QNH 983, Alpaca 3-1 Kilo Foxtrot. So 7,000 feet set QNH
983. Golf, descend altitude 3,000 feet.
3,000 feet, Alpaca 2 Golf.
Low pressure, look at it go down.
Alpaca 22 Golf, turn left heading.
Set standby on there. So QNH set 983, passing 40,200 for 7,000. Standby altimeter is set. Just got to bear in mind that next restriction, 110 above.
Alpaca 22 Golf, direct Elvam via Elvam, cleared out at Zulu approach, runway 19, report established.
Elvam, then
Go down 3,500 feet per minute, which you probably would do.
Tomjet 390, no speed restriction.
Especially in profile mode. Don't want it to go too fast, so I'm going to go level change 250 now. We're still above the 110 restriction. Just want to be careful of that. It's only 3 miles away, so now I've gone back to profile 250. It will start pitching up. Just want to make sure I respect this restriction. Obviously on the QNH, definitely will, because we're much higher flight level. Profile, come back. There we are, back to profile mode. That will help me respect the restriction. 1 mile, a little bit low there. But that is altitude, so it definitely standard B. Our flight level's well above that still. So you can be a bit careful with this, because we set a lower QNH now. Our flight level is 110 above and 100 above. Have I got the speed brake out or something? Where are we going full thrust now? Whoa, the speed went all the way back. Okay. Let's go back to 250, this is me being unfamiliar with the aircraft. So we are still well above that height. Height still. What is going on here? Have I got some funky icing going on here? I've got 96%, 1,000 feet per minute, and we're not accelerating. That's the sign of something seriously wrong. What is going on here? Now, this is something seriously wrong here. 1,000 feet per minute, rate of descent. I've got full climb thrust, and look at my speed. It's stuck at 230 knots and decreasing. I've got a failure on here. No failed systems. This could be X-Plane's icing. Yeah, this isn't right at all. I think it could be icing. X-Plane icing. There you go. Look, now the speed's coming back alive. We'll talk about icing shortly. I've stuck all icing on. That seems to be better now. Very interesting. Now, severe icing, extremely dangerous in commercial aviation, but in the Level D simulator, if you put severe icing on...
Packet 31 Kilo Fox should descend altitude 5,000 feet.
Descend 5,000 feet now, Packet 31 Kilo Fox, 5,000 feet. So, in severe icing, that's better. That's how the aircraft's behaving. So I'm guessing it was simulating, I don't know, double-decker bus thickness ice on top of the wings. Yeah, it's severe icing in the Level D sim. It's actually quite difficult to tell if you have it or not. There's very little difference between a clean wing. Obviously on approach it's very dangerous. You're stall speeding. You're much likely to be closer to your stall speed and a lower angle attack to stall. So I think it was a little bit exaggerated with the severity of the icing there. But yeah, you could see there, 1,000 feet per minute, full power, and we were not accelerating. So attitude and thrust is everything in an aeroplane. You know with what attitude and thrust setting what performance you should be getting. So in a rate, if I'm descending at 1,000 feet per minute with full power, I'd be doing Mach 2 before long. So that's crazy, that was. Right, anyway, we're descending to an altitude now, 5,000 feet, do the post-cruise checks. That was funky. But I've had X-Plane, severe icing in X-Plane before, and it's just way over the top. Way over the top. So post-cruise checks, seatbelt signs should be on, everything should be on. Ignition. Altimeter is set. There we are. It is called Iceland for a reason. Unbelievable. Have you connected the mouse and James Works is ready to go? That's crazy. Oh, Martina, yes, the overheads are funky, isn't it?
Packet 31 Kilo Fox should descend altitude 3,000 feet to be level by Elvum.
Descend 3,000 feet to be level by Elvum. Oh, Packet 31 Kilo Foxtrot. Okay, so 3,000 feet wants to be nice and level early, so we need to increase drag here. Level change, 250. I'm going to get the speed brake out, and we've got the little green or blue arrow, isn't it, in the Airbus, which will tell us where we'll hit 3,000. So if I do that and get the speed brake out, not going to be great for a CDA. It is at or above, but if he wants level at 3,000 feet, he'll comply with that restriction. So what I'm going to do now is use a technique we do in the 7.3, select vertical speed, and just set a vertical speed to plonk, speed back to 220 as well, to plonk the arrow exactly at the restriction. So you've got your little yellow banana there, 3,000 feet, and I'm just going to adjust the vertical speed to put the yellow banana 3,000 feet at Elvum. I've got a speed brake to bring the speed to 220 knots and the altitude as well. That's why I love the A310 and A300 so much. It is a 737. It's such a Boeing. So we're going to get below profile. That's more for a CDA, but we've got to comply with ATC restriction to be level at 3,000 at Elvum. There we are. I'm going to stow the speed brake now. Speed's coming up. Thrust is coming up. Just might need a bit more actually. Yeah, I should keep that out. Just help with the 220.
Packet 22 Golf, contact tower 118 decimals. Yeah, we'll say landing.
Windows. So approaching 1 to go. And we're going to make the 3,000 feet level at Elvum. I'm going to keep the engine and wing anti-ice on, guys. Wing anti-ice you don't leave on constantly in the real aircraft when it's 7.3, because the ice will melt off the leading edge and then it can flow back on the wing and then refreeze. Not ideal. So there we are.
31 Kilo Foxtrot via Elvum, cleared ILS Zulu, approach runway 19, report established.
Via Elvum, cleared ILS Zulu, approach runway 19, wheel count, Packet 31 Kilo Foxtrot. There we are, there's 3,000 feet, we've met the restriction, we're at 220 knots. And look at that, just 3 miles before Eltham. Perfect. Look at this for an approach. Absolutely superb. So we are level, no CDA. And then we'll go around the ILS there, and that will take us on to a... Where's KF point here? To about an 8.6 mile final. Looking good. So when we turn base, we'll select the first natch of slats. There we are, so selecting the first natch. And 180 knots is the recommended IKO speed on base leg. It's going to bring it back to 190. So standard ILS approach checklist is complete. ILS and ILS. Max speed is 200 knots at Kilo Foxtrot 419, which we're doing. There's the airport. The clouds redrawing. Ooh, a bit of weather over there. So yeah, this sort of weather, don't go through that red bits associated with CBs of thunderstorms, which are forecast. You want to keep clear of this sort of weather here. Thankfully, not over the airport. Off to the west. So glide slope's coming alive. By the time we turn final, we'll be right onto the ILS. It's 9.5, so I'm going to take an extra natch of flops here. Bring the speed back to 180. Why are we climbing? That'll be the ballooning from the flaps. There it is, pitching down. Turning final, correct sensing. I'll select land. Glide slope and localizer arms. Localizer, glide slope capture, here comes the rain. Missed approach altitude 3,000 feet set. Alpaca 3-1 Kilo Foxtrot fully established.
31 Kilo Foxtrot, contact tower 118.3. Have a nice landing and a nice rest of your stream.
Tower 118.3, thank you very much. Thank you so much to the ATC, sir. Alpaca 3-1 Kilo Foxtrot, bye.
Bye. Follow line, 402 ready for...
There we are, going back to the F speed. F for fantastic Airbus.
Yeah, just gonna give you the
eye position indicator's a bit off, mate. Oh, is it? Happy with the view, if I'm honest, it looks good.
Alpha 22 Golf, Reykjavik Keflavik, exit right to Sierra if possible.
Right on Sierra, Alpha 2 Golf.
Tower, hello, Alpaca 3-1 Kilo Foxtrot, established ILS Zulu 19, approaching 6 miles. Oh, thunder, what was that?
Alpaca 3-1 Kilo Foxtrot, Quebec Tower, good evening, minimum approach speed, you're number 1.
Minimum approach speed, Alpaca 3-1 Kilo Foxtrot. On that note, gear down.
352,
flaps to 2530. Bug out, final approach speeds. Perf.
Copy to continue
approach 139. I can't remember if that's the fly speed or the final approach speed.
Echo, November 13.
Landing flaps selected. What's that noise? There we are, so landing flaps selected, minimum approach speed set. So, localizer glide slope capture, we've done, flaps are set, speed brake, arms, landing gear down 3 green, auto brake is set to medium, and that's it, check's complete. It is windy. Down the runway though.
And Alpaca 3-1 Kilo Foxtrot, winds are 19 at 15 knots, 19 clear to land.
Runway 19 are cleared to land. Alpaca 3-1 Kilo Foxtrot. There we are. Landing check's been cleared to land. So, thunderstorms. At my operator, if there's a thunderstorm within 3 nautical miles of the airport or the final approach, we can't fly the approach, so it's close, but we're all okay. Right. 4 miles, big headwind, our ground speed's only 120 knots. Looking horrible out there. Like disconnected. Everyone's disconnected.
402, stand by.
And autopilot's disconnected. Many Airbus sounds. How do I shut it up? I can't remember how to shut that one off.
Whisker 4498.
How do you turn off the autopilot warning horn? I can't remember.
4498, squawk 3015.
I'll have to just deal with that bugging sound.
Squawk 3013, confirm.
3015.
Right, on localize, localize, then pick the master warning.
We said 3015 now. Whisker 4498.
Where's the master warning?
No, it is just a mix-up, but
I've had it before and I just knew what to do.
Push that approved face south.
What about, I remember.
Facing south, Whisker 4498, squawks on now, thank
Thanks.
you.
I remember now. Right, speed's good. Straight to fly.
22 Golf, just gonna have to change your stand. Echo, November 1-3.
Wait, my goodness me, it's very windy here. Right, I'm having to make big, look at the aileron inputs I'm having to make. On sense line, on glide, speed's good. This one will be a good one. There's minimums, continue.
22 Golf, Keflavik Tower.
Little high, keep descending the stage.
Just gonna change your gate a little bit because of pushback. Just Echo, November 1-3.
Check,
Gate 2,
close. Hold the altitude. There's the 8 point gone. Gotta get that butter. Oh no! Speed brakes up. Reverses.
402, are you at copy, please?
Reverses green. Gently lower the nose. There's 100 knots. Good landing for the conditions. Yeah, that's my excuse. 80. Disconnect the brakes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Keflavik.
Break, Alpaca 31 Kilo Foxtrot, welcome to land of AFL, good, do you need full length?
Thank you, and we can take the next right, Alpaca 31 Kilo Foxtrot. What did he say?
Thank you very much, 1 Kilo Foxtrot, right on Sierra and then right onto Echo, I'll follow one taxi instructions.
Right, Sierra and Echo, Alpaca 31 Kilo Foxtrot. Perfect. So, auto brake should be off, and we'll take the next right here. Cancelled the reverse. No, I haven't. No, I have. Stow the speed brake. There we are. And retract the flaps as well. Blame that on the autopilot disconnect noise brilliantly, and thank you. It was a little further than I wanted, especially as I was really going for it too. Here we are. Look at the driving snow. Obviously, I think Microsoft Flight Simulator, the way it models the weather, the textures.
Taxi, Echo, November to gate 11, please cross over to 8.
Echo November and stand 11. Alpaca 31 Kilo Foxtrot, thank you. So Echo November.
Stand so 352, the moment you've been waiting for. Clear for takeoff from 19 wind 180.
Full left on the tiller, full left, full left. I think it's simulating a slipping. I've had this before. It's simulating snow on the taxiway and runway, so it's really slippy. So you want to be taxiing really slowly. Right, just make sure we're happy with where we're going. So Echo November, so all the way up here, and then stand 11. Happy days. Good laddie, yeah, happy with that. Bit of a floaty. And we got here an Alpaca Airways 350, I think.
Whisker 4498 is ready for taxi.
UK 4498, thank you very much. Taxi November 12 and hold short of November.
Safe flight, sir. Great airline to fly. It's impossible to enjoy the view of taxi in a straight line. No, no, I looked at chat for a second. Look, right, that is so. Look at the nose wheel. And to be fair, it looks a bit silly, but if it was contaminated, that's exactly what would happen. If it was covered in pour, if that was the braking action, look at that. That is really actually pretty accurate. If it was covered in snow and slush, that's what would happen. You turn on tiller and you just understeer. Don't drink and drive. Right, I best do the clean up here. Taxi music, we need a little bit of that. Beautiful. So, here we go. Go around, we didn't do after landing, so strobe lights. Turn all this off now. Oh, I needed that. I definitely don't need that. Is that Icelandic I'm hearing? Sounds great. Retract the landing lights. We need to turn off lights on. Anti-ice, we turn off for now. Engine anti-ice may be left on for taxi if required, so probably leave it on. We'll turn it off, going on stands. Weather radar, off. Hold short of November, Alpaca 3 Kilo Foxtrot. So hold short of a November taxiway. So we've got Kilo coming up, and then November's the next one. And this is the brand new Xometry scenery, guys. We're going to have a good look at this when we logged off, so I can preview it for you. It's very nice scenery. And the whole short here is probably an aircraft taxiing out.
I was out of cockpit for 5 minutes. Am I clear for push and start?
Airline 402, yes. Are you ready to copy your ocean clearance?
Get the AP up and running now.
Sorry, can you repeat that? Airline 402.
Hold short here, that's why.
Airline 402, yeah, are you ready to copy your ocean clearance to over?
Yes, I'm ready to copy.
There's kids in the background. If I can break set pitch trim, we can reset. One unit down, no, one unit nose up.
After that, climb set flight 290, ocean routing.
Oh, flaps are up, brake temperatures. Okay, because I barely use the brakes, she's not a reverse for us today.
And squawk 2323.
Oh yeah, 160, no problem at all. There is Batavia Air. Hello Friendly Fish, weather looks apocalyptic. It wasn't final. Yeah, thunderstorm just off to the west. Hey, where's the taxi lights on that plane? Well, the switch is there, but physically, there on the nose.
Oceanic route Oscom Larux Mike Yankee. Flight level 330. Squawk 2324 for Airline 402.
Airline 402, yeah, initial climb level 290 Mach.
Stand 11 will be here, we'll go on November, be a steep ride there onto the main terminal.
Climb 290, Mach number 0.05 and squawk 2323.
It's fun going off there. I meant on the plane taxiing, taxi switch, hang on, is... taxi line, where is it? There we are, nose, taxi. Oh yeah, I was on takeoff still. I'm keeping the supplies down. There we go. Oh, we didn't need to use any extra fuel.
Bye-bye.
418 actually approachment of Unicom 122 decimal. Okay, Unicom 122 decimal.
Should be no problem getting on stand.
Are we okay to climb unrestricted on the departure for postman offline? Affirmative, Unicom you can do whatever the hell you want. So we climb unrestricted on the departure when I want to quickly come. Thanks for something, you always go 418. Bye-bye. See ya, and Alpaca 31 Kilo Foxtrot, you can just go ahead and make a left on the November and gate 11.
Continuing taxi left November and gate 11 Alpaca 31 Kilo Foxtrot. Thanks to the ATC, sir.
No problemas.
Excellent, so there we are, got our final taxi instructions. I've already started the APU nice and early. It should be available, check in a second. Yeah, so yeah, when you're taxiing in contaminated conditions like this, maximum 5 knots. You've seen how slippy it is in X-Plane anyway. You see, the only thing about hard skyscrapers, you get sort of bleeding effect. Look at that, it's like, a bit funny sometimes. Yeah, I don't... This driving snows. Maybe in X-Plane 12 they'll improve that. So, waiting for November 14 we've just passed, and it's next November 13. And Darren, only the one flight today, buddy. We've just finished, bad timing. Now, you notice that I'm not using any rudder, I just looked at chat. The wind is really pushing. This is called weathercocking. So, if we go to this view here, imagine the wind's coming straight down the runway. It's pushing on the vertical stabilizer, and as it pushes, it's swinging the nose of the airplane around. Remember, this is just the wind. It's that powerful, so you have to use, same with the real aircraft, you have to constantly use, in this case, a little bit of right rudder or right tiller to keep it putting there. So if I make no input, see how it's weathercocking into the wind? The wind's pushing this, the central axis in the middle of the airplane is swinging around that, so you have to keep using right rudder in this case to maintain center line. So here's stand 14, next try stand 11.
Push start approach 3 south, Airline 40.
Didn't get lost, guys. There's stand 11. Sounds on this mega. There we are, Airbus A310. Coming in a little bit fast. There we are, stop. Superb. Parking brake is set. APU, turn the engine anti-ice off. APU's definitely up and running, isn't it? APU is running, and it says available somewhere, doesn't it? I'm not sure, but it's providing voltage in hertz, so let's shut the engines down, that's all we need to do. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Keflavik. There we are, there's the APU going on the bus. I think we should have the air bridge connect. Definitely did on test sector, me flicking it off and on. Impressive. Might be the wrong air bridge. Just trying to connect. We could blame the Sam on that one. Quite interested to see what happens here. Sus. That's Sam. Might have a super connection. Oh, here it goes. Why not? Now, last time Sam did this, it did crash the sim when I did the replay. It's doing it. Well, there you go. It's connected. And a bit of a jump as well, but there we are. The finger is attached. Amazing, amazing. Well, we are going to do the replay soon, guys, but I'd like to do the giveaway. I want to show you the scenery as well. Have a good look around. Let me get the blurb away. So I have to say thank you to Xometry for providing the scenery. So what I'm going to do, I've just logged off a FatSim, so thanks to the controller. Have a little read of chat first. APU whirring away there, a little bit further away. Don't cross the streams. No, I don't want to do that. Don't look, the jet bridges are mating. Unbelievable, Romulus. Behave yourself. Stephen, that was a long reach. Absolutely. Sorry, the available is next to the APU start button. Got you, Pan. I thought it was on one of the screens. Oh my god, it's like a thunder going off here. It's like an episode of Dracula or something. I don't know. Excellent. Yeah, nice approach. Tried to get the butter for that there and ended up just getting a great landing. Oh well. Don't want to do that on a contaminated runway. Want to land as soon as possible. Superb. Now, let me just turn these sounds down here. Now, what I'm going to quickly do is nip to the X-Plane menu. Let me push that. And we're going to go to midday. Let me just crank the time a little bit back. 12:30, that'll do. Boof, apply changes, superb. Let me just turn off active sky as well, because we won't need that anymore. And it will stop all the thunder going off. So let me just quit from active sky 2. Excellent. Let me get my Xometry scenery blur out and my notes I made about it in Word. There we are. Professional streamer as ever, but whenever a developer is so kind to send me their scenery for free, I always like to return the favour and show you a little bit about the scenery so you can have a look and perhaps it'll pique your interest. But anyway, there we are. You can see here I'm not using ortho, it's just stock explained, but they have their own custom ortho. You can see it surrounds the airport quite nicely. Bit about Keflavik then. It's let me read the blurb here. Blah 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 blah. It was originally served as a US Air Force base in 1942, and it became Iceland's largest airport after opening its main passenger terminal in 1987. It handled 10 million passengers in 2019, while being used by over 20 airlines. Ooh, I need to buy soundboard so I can do lots of oohs and ahs in chat. Let me just wind that up there. Let's get a... what have I got here? Yeah. Pro streamer here. Let's have a look at runway 19, where we landed on. This is one of the main runways here. But you can see it has all the standard high quality payware additions. All the approach lights there, all nicely modelled. The runway textures, always very good with Xometry. What was the airport I landed with Xometry? The runway textures are amazing. One of the US airports I had. I'm really interested here on these stands, how it works. Is this like underground, or does the bus go from here and then they literally get on the aircraft via like these mini air bridges? I noticed that on the test sector, but yeah, very nice. Well, not test sector, but test to make sure the scenery is installed correctly. But yeah, it is accurate, the layout as it is today in 2022. High resolution PBR textures in all the buildings, custom night lighting. Let's have a look at that quickly. Zhoof, there we are. So we've got all the lighting here, FPS. Well, I have mine capped at 60. It's rocked on 60, so I would be hitting very high here, but it does seem very FPS friendly. But yeah, night texturing. There's the approach light. You've got the high intensity lights coming in on the approach there. That's really cool. Very nice. Back today. Boof. Just like that. Excellent. Let's have a look in the main terminal. So here's the car park. All around here. Zipping around. What is this? Some Icelandic person made some pretty scenery there in real life and in the sim. There's a giant lake here with a giant olive. What is that? Anyone from Iceland like to tell me? Not so sure. But there you are. Here is the main terminal. Is it modelled inside? I think here. Yes, if you go into this part here. There we are. So inside we have some modelling. Obviously it's basic textures and shapes there, but the actual layout of the airport, which is what is important, you know, it's not a passenger simulator, it is a flight simulator, is what's important. There is some modelling there. Obviously an issue with SAM today in the air bridge, but all of SAM is integrated there. They've got custom buildings all around here, so obviously this is Icelandic cargoes area. They've got all the trucks here. Yeah, it's very nice. What you can get from any typical payware developer. So yeah, massive thanks for Xometry for sending it over. It's available now for $17.99. VAT in the UK is about £21.50. So very generous price for the quality. You know, it's a typical price you get for an airport. But first time I've ever had a decent airport in Iceland in X-Plane 11. The only stuff available is freeware. And it's okay, it's basic stuff, but it's nice to have a payware rendition of the airport as well. Perfect. Excellent. Would you like to win a copy, guys? So here's your chance to win a copy of this scenery in X-Plane 11. Giveaways are very simple these days. I sometimes try and think of something a little bit funky. But if you are the winner, I'd like you to get in contact with me via social media, be it Facebook, Instagram or Twitter. You can email me at flightdecktosim@gmail.com. And how do you enter the giveaway? Well, it's very simple. All I need you to do is type in chat a very simple word. I'm going to ask you a very simple question. I'm just getting the giveaway set up here. I think you know what it will be. It usually is with the airport scenery. What the keyword is, it is just simply the 4-letter ICAO code for the word. Okay, so everyone, if you'd like to enter the giveaway, type in the 4 letters which represent the ICAO code for Keflavik, and that will automatically enter you into the giveaway. Very important, guys. please only type it in chat once. If you do it more than once, it will automatically kick you out the giveaways. Stop spam. Potential cheating issues apparently sometimes without this. If you put it in more than once, you can have a higher chance of winning. But I have the anti-spam feature on, so it is fair for everyone. Everyone's entered. Doesn't matter if you're a moderator, member, or a regular subscriber. There's no increased odds of winning. There are options for doing that in iBot, but I have never used it. It's always fair, just for everyone that enters. The members have their own giveaways, but we have members, regular subscribers winning as well. So I'll let it run for a couple of minutes, whilst some of those with perhaps a slightly slower internet connection or lag the stream slightly, they have a chance to enter as well. See lots of people entering. Robert S, you've already bought it. Very good. Yeah, I think a lot of people have been wanting a high-quality Icelandic airport, and I think Keflavik is a very popular airport to fly on VATSIM and on Flight Sim as well. Not necessarily just VATSIM. Who doesn't love an island destination in the middle of the ocean? Weather here is always a bit iffy. We were very lucky today. Wind was strong, but down the runway. But I was having to make some quite positive inputs. You probably saw the control column moving quite a bit there on final approach as we approach the airport. But very nice. Love the A310, glad we flew it again today as well. Didn't do too bad a job. Could have ended in disaster at one point with that issue with the icing. That was crazy. Yeah, 96% thrust there. So the auto throttle was trying to compensate to maintain that speed. It was having to use that amount of thrust to maintain the speed. It was excessive icing. That's for sure. Very unusual. Robert, you'd give it to a friend. Very good. Yes, so as I mentioned, all I need is an email address, and I'll send that over to iniBuilds. iniBuilds store has a lot of products on it now, and they represent a lot of the companies. I think Xometry exclusively on the iniBuilds store. And once you do that, you'll just need to make, if you don't have already, an iniBuilds store account. And once that store account is made, they'll add that to your account for you. Thanks for subscribing there. Something Vlogs, welcome aboard, buddy. So, of course, the IK code I was looking for was Bravo India Kilo Foxtrot. That is Keflavik. So, well done if you got that right. But now it is time to roll the winner. There we are. Ah, yes, that's a nice previous shot. So, the winner of the giveaway today of the Xometry Keflavik scenery is Christian S. Innocent. Not a member, unrigged. There we are. So, Christian S. Innocent, I love it. If you are here in chat, give us a wave, say hello, let me know that you're not a bot or something like that. You are the winner of the Keflavik Xometry scenery. Congratulations to you, sir. Subscription status unknown. He's been announced a winner 23 seconds ago, 25 seconds ago. He's still in shock. Can't believe he won. He goes, yes, I won. He's alive. Amazing. Thank you, Christian S. Innocent. If you do me a massive favour, get in contact with me via social media, Facebook, Instagram or Twitter. Or you can email me at flightdatasim@gmail.com. I've seen your little picture on your profile. Just send me that. So I know it's you with your logout screen. That's completely fine. And we'll get you all sorted with the scenery. Sammy's in 1,000,000% rigged, but congratulations. Unbelievable. No words. Amazing. Right. Oh yeah, I didn't do my competition winner dongle. Hold on, let me just... Congratulations, Christian. You are today's winner. There we are. Fantastic. Right. Now, Sam can be a bit funny with replays if you have it connected in a weird issue here. So what I'm going to just try and do here is disconnect the air bridge manually. Allow manual. Click the door. There we go. That should now cause no problems with the replay. We'll have to see shortly. And yeah, we're going to break tradition here. Let me know in chat if you don't like this, but we're going to go for some slightly relaxing replay music again. Yes, I had a lot of requests for this. I think a lot of people preferred it over the funky music. I know it's a tradition on the on the Flight Deck to Sim stream to have that, but we're going to try here, see what the response is. Probably everyone hates it, but it does suit the landing very well. There we are, let's put ourselves on final. So it was a little bit shaky, and just because in Flight Sim I tried to go for a butter to keep you all appeased, I was a little bit long landing, but it was very bumpy. Look at the aircraft shaking around here. There's the flare. Check was the right height, and then I just held it off a little bit too long. It was just level there, and then just lost lift. Whoop. It was down. Not too bad at all. That's about where I touched down. Let's have a look from this angle. Not bad. Gently lower the nose. Superb. Look for the tower. We need peaceful music these days. We do, we do. What's the contest? Did you like this or the funk? I quite like this one. As soon as you touch down now, you want to promptly select reverse thrust when you're landing on a contaminated runway, because that is the main stopping force. Wheel brakes are not as effective, especially on poorer braking actions. Medium poor. But it was definitely simulating, obviously texture-wise and visually, you can't see snow, but it was definitely simulating, especially on the taxiway and aprons, a contaminated surface, for sure. It felt very different. Right then, well, what I'll do, I'll put you in... Oh, it has to be that view with the sun just setting. Oh, just in the distance there. Very, very nice. Right, let's put you in a little bit of a longer approach so you can enjoy that lovely wing view all the way to touchdown, enjoying the calm music. And just before I go, just want to say, as ever, thank you for tuning in. Tuning in. Oh, look at all the flapper on aileron movement here on final as well. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in. To everyone that donated, thank you very much for your generosity. Really appreciate it. Don't ever feel you need to do that though. Just enjoy the content. To all my members, thank you very much for the continued support. It's very much appreciated. And to all my regular viewers and subscribers, thank you very much for popping in and watching another Flight Deck Sim live stream. Thank you to iniBuilds for the Airbus A310, Xometry for branding scenery. It's all available in the iniBuilds store. Be sure to check them out. And enjoy the rest of your week. I'll try and squeeze a stream in maybe on Thursday, but I'm coming up to another full week of flying. Very busy at the moment. But you can always follow me on social media to keep up to date with the latest updates as well. Don't forget to subscribe as well. I'll always post on YouTube, community posts if I'm going to stream, as on social media as well. Guys, take care. I'll see you all soon and have a lovely day.